Hey Judith,
Hello and a very warm welcome to the second day of the GreenTech Festival.
what were you doing the moment we came by?
So we're still rehearsing because also on Friday our conference will have some amazing speaker on it and they need to rehearse some stuff.
Can you tell us what the GreenTech Festival is?
The GreenTech Festival is all about sustainability and green technology, and we want to be the biggest platform in the world to bring the right people together and talk about it.
What do you want to achieve with the GreenTech Festival?
I mean, first of all, it's about inspiring, but it's also activating. And yes, we want to reach as many people as possible and get them to think about to live a little bit more sustainable than they do at the moment.
This is quite an unusual location. Why did you decide to host the event at a former airport?
I guess because we love mobility, and as you can see, it's an amazing location. It's big, it's bright, all our great partners have enough space, so it's the perfect location for our DNA.
How do you implement the topic of sustainability in your everyday life?
I mean, of course, we have an e-vehicle, and I love it to drive, so it's a lot of fun. And controlling some waste, controlling also your consuming, and yes. So in my personal life, it's always very important to think about: is it really necessary to buy this, or can I use it again?
What's the funniest thing you read about sustainability on the internet?
That it is too expensive, and that it is something that only rich people can do, because that's not true.
Where do you see the greatest challenges when it comes to sustainability?
I mean, it's still a challenge to bring it into the mainstream, and we need a lot of education about it so that people understand why it is important and how we can change things and how we can be part actively of it.
If you could choose one industry, which one do you think has to change the most to meet the Paris Agreement?
I guess the most potential we do have with the building industry and the prop tech industry. But of course also mobility is very important to reach the goals, but they're doing a lot already. And if you can see over here, we have, for example, the DB Ideenzug, and then they work on a lot of ideas how we can change that.
What is your favorite way to travel, since we are now at the driving experience?
I mean, of course, I love to go by bike, but I also love our e-vehicle because it's a lot of fun to drive.
All right, last question for you, Judith. Who is your personal role model when it comes to sustainability?
I'm a huge fan of Paul Polman. He was also part of the GreenTech Festival 2019 and former CEO of Unilever, and he has great messages.
Perfect. It was great speaking to you. Thank you for all the insights.
Thank you and bye-bye.
The GreenTech Festival is all about celebrating change, and it's always about new ideas. And right now we are standing in front of a very special car which was finished 2 days ago, just in time for the GreenTech Festival. And I'm standing at the booth of Evolution with Professor Shu. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
My pleasure. Happy to have you here.
What can we expect of you and Evolution at the GreenTech Festival 2022?
Well, we want to address, let's say, the biggest portion of mobility that is causing problems, emission problems and traffic jam problems, which is the commuting traveling of workers every morning and every afternoon home. And that is between 50 and 70% of all our passenger traffic. And normally it's 1,05 people in one car. So that is very inefficient, and most of those are combustion engine cars. So we decided to invent a shuttle for these colleagues from companies who normally offer hundreds of positions in somewhere downtown a city. And to combine, to do a ride sharing in a shuttle, and that should be attractive for the company. That is attractive because our shuttle is the most environmental shuttle in the world. I come to that later. And it's the premiere here. We actually addressed it and planned it to get it ready. It was very tight, I have to say, but it's ready and it's complete. And you see, it's very unusual. You see, it is a central position, a high position, with a door opening to the front. That is a very king of the road position of the driver. And that achieves, even though it's a passenger car, not a van, not a bus, it achieves a significant space where you not only have enough space to behave, to have, let's say, your intimacy. It is also equipped with a kind of multimedia, meta-like working spaces. The nicest spaces you can imagine. And so if you get shuttled with the car to your office and the car parks, you have to decide whether you really leave that shuttle to go into your office, because that working space is even better than the one in your office.
We can all feel your excitement about the car itself. It's called Meta. Why did you do that?
It is the immersive, intensive diving into media for working or for fun, for shopping, that we are providing with huge screens and media support and individual seat support. So it's a preparation for what will come up with Metaverse on our, let's say, fun side, playing side, and on our office side. And there is a huge part of our life in time that we spend in that commuting, and that is the best place, the best time to use this next generation of capabilities of Metaverse. And so we decided to call it Metaverse. I hope that we can stick to that term over time.
I'm not sure about that. Well, we will find out in the future. Cars in general are getting bigger and faster, and that's not really sustainable, I would say. What do you think about that, and what is your target group?
Why is that, on top of that, the most environmental car? Because it lives 50 years. It has a skeleton from aluminium profiles, and it has a cloth around from thermoplast, nice looking, like you see it here. But you can disassemble that, you can enclose that within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, in an industrial way, exchange some parts, and we will do that every 5 years. So the update and upgrade of that car will happen every 5 years. And together with that frame and the electrical powertrains, both live technically forever, we will achieve a lifetime of 50 years. The normal lifetime of a passenger car today is 12 years in Germany, from new to end the life of the car. So with that 4 times or more of longevity, we achieved the biggest progress in footprint, in environmental and CO2 footprint that you can achieve with any measure technically around cars.
And now we are talking about mobility in cities, right? Do you have a solution for urban areas as well?
Actually, in that shuttle and commuting topic, we are not just talking about city traffic. It's mainly the traffic in ranges from 10 to 30 or 40 kilometers, which is normally only 1/3 or less is city. The rest is, let's say, suburbs or countryside. Those people are very, very excited about that because they have the maximum use. They have no problem with parking the car. The driver who is dedicated from the company to drive the other colleagues, he works in the company. In afternoons he can use the car. That is his benefit from doing the driver's job. You don't have to pay the driver extra way. And normally these people have parking lots and charging capabilities easier than inner city people. So we combine it's actually the inner city traffic problem is actually mainly a commuting traffic problem from out of the city in the city. So we should not just look on the city traffic, we should take it from the core, and that's the logical solution we are addressing with this shuttle.
And here we can see the prototype of Meta. How important was circularity in building this car?
It's the first circular economy car at all, because only with that very unusual aluminium profile skeleton space frame and the capability to disassemble that car and that exterior, you can keep it alive for much longer in just exchanging a few parts or upgrading a few parts. So that is the only possibility, or let's say it's a necessity or prerequisite to come into circular economy. So I would call it the first real case of a car ready for circular economy. And that is, of course, right here on GreenTech Festival. I mean, that's the place to show that, right?
That's the place to be for change makers and products who can change our lives in the future, in a better and greener future. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Professor Schuh. It was a pleasure and all the best for your project.
It's our pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
I am outdoor right now because we are standing at an e-bike booth, an e-moped booth, and with me is the general manager Katharina Kientop from Dance.
Hi.
Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
What are you showcasing here at the GREENTECH Festival?
So we're showcasing our hardware. As you can see, multiple bikes here to test ride. And then we also have our e-moped on the side that we are renting out on a monthly basis, all to test, try, look at. And then we also have one representative here from our Dance for Business offering. So any companies that are interested in offering these e-bikes or e-mopeds to their employees as a benefit should stop by and have a chat with her.
That sounds great. How did you come up with the idea of Dance?
So the idea of Dance is really all about creating livable cities, right? So what do we mean by livable cities? It's all about creating cities that are centered around humans rather than cars. And we don't say cars should go all together. I really think cars still have a purpose in cities, etc. But if we look at it, around 90% of the time, cars are just standing idle in cities. And so what we are trying is to move people away from cars towards micromobility, electric micromobility, and we are trying to do this by making the access as easy as possible. So that's why we started with a monthly subscription program where you can really just try it out, have a go at it, and see whether you like it or not. Normally, when you do buy e-bikes or e-mopeds, there's quite a high front investment, and that's the reason why it's so much easier to enter it with just like a simple monthly subscription fee.
And you just started a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, we started in September last year, fully. I mean, we've been around for around 2 years now, but the Dance 1 model that we currently have on the market, we launched in September in Berlin first, and then we expanded into quite a few other cities, namely Hamburg, Munich, Vienna, and Paris.
And how many bikes are on the road right now?
A couple of thousand, really.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite amazing to see how many people really love our product and how quickly we are growing in all of these markets.
And what are your learnings about kind of the problem with e-mobility and e-bikes and e-renting, about people pushing them away and all that stuff?
Yeah, so you're probably talking about vandalism. So I think I used to work in this in the shared mobility space, and there vandalism towards bikes is much more of a problem, right? So they're standing idle there. No one really owns these vehicles except the companies obviously that they provide them, so they're exposed much more to vandalism. So far we haven't seen that with our e-bikes or e-mopeds, because it's really much like you own this product, right? I mean, you're renting it on a monthly basis, but it really much feels like it's your own product that you're using there.
And how important is sustainability for your company in general?
Yeah, I think sustainability is at the heart of our company, right? So the only reason, our raison d'être, right? So the reason why we exist is because we want to make cities greener, more sustainable, more livable. And so in our day-to-day operations, for instance, we really take care of the fact that we do not emit additional CO2, right? So when we deliver bikes to our members, we deliver them right to their doorstep. We do that with e-vans only. And then also maintenance is also included in the monthly subscription, and we maintain the bikes there where the customer really is, and our mechanics are on bikes themselves, right? So we're trying to really not have a massive CO2 footprint with our day-to-day operations and try to minimize it wherever we can.
And what's the next big thing for you, or the next big city to conquer?
Yeah, so the next big city I can't tell you right now, but rest assured we do want to expand into more markets. Obviously this is just the beginning. We have as a mission to make bigger urban spaces more livable and green, and so yeah, there's definitely more to come to watch out for.
Katharina, thanks a lot for joining us today.
Yeah.
We're happy that you are here with your booth, Dance. You should visit them on their homepage. They're really interesting. Thanks a lot for joining us, and yeah, keep updated. At the GreenTech Festival 2022, we welcome change makers from all over the world to celebrate change. And of course, lifestyle is one of the biggest topics we have to talk about and discuss. And it's a growing category in the exhibition, but also at the conference of the GreenTech Festival 2022. And we have two different kind of partners. We have long-lasting partnerships, for example, with Dr. Hauschka. They are the 4th year in a row partner of the GreenTech Festival, the exclusive beauty partner, and we are new upcoming brands such as Performance. Performance, they are doing cooling garments and a launch of sustainable household items. And of course, we all know that cooling is a key element when we talk about climate change. And it's getting more and more important, obviously. However, cooling, for example, with air conditioning is very harmful to the environment since energy consumption is high. And we have to change that. We have to tackle that. And that's exactly what Performance is doing. But before we are going to take a look at Performance, we have to talk about Dr. Hauschka. As I said, the beauty partner of the GreenTech Festival, since 4 years right now, we are working together with them, are extremely proud to have them on board and at our side. And they started as a good bag partner, and now they are the international partner of the GreenTech Festival. So even when we are growing into New York, Singapore, and London, they are with us. And as I said, we are really proud about that. And for Dr. Hauschka, everything is about natural cosmetics. That's the key product they are selling. And with that, they are setting new standards in the way cosmetic is seen. And the way they are approaching their goals is quite unique and inspiring for the whole market themselves. And we have them here on site with the trailer beauty treatments they are offered. And in front of the trailer, there's a wall of seat bags. Each visitor can take one away and leave a message on its place. And we are going to talk about their cooperation with Felder, and they created something special for the GreenTech celebration for the first evening. And yeah, we're really excited to talk with them in a moment. Stay tuned and stay with us.
How often have your eyes wandered across the formations of Mother Earth? Its endlessness, the clouds, a tree, a flower, a bee. Without one, there is no other. Nature is our vision. We're our own inspiration. When we have awakened and our seeds are planted with their bare hands, we see the beauty as we grow, nurtured by the fertile soil. As all organisms follow, we decompose. We return to Earth and we live in synergy. We're growing wild as part of a system. The end is always the beginning. This is for you. You absorb us. Thus we become you, one. We're all connected. Can you see?
Auf dem GreenTech Festival 2022 spielt Kosmetik natürlich auch eine große Rolle, hat einen riesen Einfluss auf alle Themen der Nachhaltigkeit und deswegen freuen wir uns umso mehr, dass Dr. Hauschka, der Beauty-Partner, der offizielle des GreenTech Festivals, jetzt bei mir ist und zwar in dreifacher Besetzung sozusagen. Ich freue mich sehr, Annette Felder begrüßen zu dürfen von Felder. Annette, Daniela, sorry, und Nicoline Wörle, Global Head of Communications, Dr. Hauschka. Schön, dass ihr da seid.
Schön, dass wir da sein dürfen.
Wir haben uns letztes Jahr schon unterhalten. Da habt ihr ganz viele tolle Sachen präsentiert. Was zeigt ihr denn dieses Jahr?
Ja, wir freuen uns auch riesig, wieder mit dabei sein zu können. Das ist jetzt das 4. Mal schon und wir haben gleich im Eingangsbereich, vielleicht ist es dir aufgefallen, unseren Dr. Hauschka Airstream, wo wir Erfrischungen mit unseren Dr. Hauschka-Produkten anbieten und auch kleine Make-up-Touch-Ups, wo wir bei der Hitze, glaube ich, alle irgendwie nochmal die Möglichkeit haben, ein bisschen frischer auszusehen.
Ja.
Wir haben eine Wall of Change direkt neben unserem Dr. Hauschka Airstream, wo alle vorbeikommen können und sich kleine Samentütchen wegnehmen können und einen Gedanken hinterlassen. In diesen Samentüten ist Wundklee, das ist eine Pflanze, die wir in fast allen unseren Produkten haben. Und wenn man diese Samen bei sich zu Hause aussät, dann tragen wir alle gemeinsam zu mehr Biodiversität bei. Und das Dritte, was wir haben, ist die Kooperation mit Felder, mit Annette und Daniela. Jetzt auch schon zum 3. Mal, glaube ich, wo wir gestern Abend als Highlight zum ersten Mal der Öffentlichkeit ein kompostierbares Kleid vorgestellt haben.
Das habe ich gesehen, das sah sensationell aus.
Ihr besser, glaube ich, was dazu erzählen.
Ja, gerne.
Ja, unsere Kooperation hat ja in Miami angefangen, weil Annette dort wohnt. Und da haben wir ein Kleid aus Baumrinde gemacht und das hat super funktioniert. Und da haben wir gedacht, da diese Verbindung ist zwischen Miami und Deutschland, dass wir das gerne widerspiegeln würden auf dem Green Carpet. Und haben ein Kleid gemacht, das aus organischem Leinen als Untergrund ist und dann aber ein Teil von Kokosnussbaumrinde hat, das Annette persönlich aus Miami mitgebracht hat. Und ich bin hier in Deutschland repräsentativ in die Gärten, Heilgärten von Dr. Hauschka gegangen und habe verschiedene Blumensorten eingesammelt, die ich dann trocknen habe lassen und auf das Kleid auch noch als Applikation gemacht habe. Und dann hat gestern auf dem Event Barbara Becker das getragen, die auch bei unserem allerersten Event in Miami dabei war. Und so hat der ganze Kreis sich dann sehr rund geschlossen.
Und wie kam das an auf dem Event?
Ich hoffe, sehr gut.
Es sah fantastisch aus, fand ich.
Also Barbara war, glaube ich, happy. Ja.
Sehr schön. Du hattest gerade angesprochen, das Thema Biodiversität ist ein wichtiges Thema. Was macht ihr in der Richtung?
Also wir machen sehr viel schon von Anfang an. Dr. Hauschka gibt es ja schon seit über 50 Jahren und die Verbindung mit der Natur und der Umgang mit der Natur war uns schon immer wichtig. Im Moment ist es so, dass wir uns ganz stark auch auf wissenschaftliche Forschung fokussieren, dort mit Universitäten zusammenarbeiten, um das Thema Biodiversität noch unter einem wissenschaftlichen Aspekt stärker zu fördern. Aber für alle von uns zu Hause ist es am wichtigsten, dass wir eben nicht unseren Rasen zu oft mähen, dass wir nicht nur Monokulturen haben oder dass wir vielleicht unseren ganzen Garten mit einer Terrasse zu betonieren. Also diese Dinge, die, glaube ich, schon viele gelernt haben, dass es wichtig ist, nicht nur für Bienen, sondern auch für Insekten, für Vögel, Blumen zu finden, die sie eben fast überall auf der ganzen Welt wieder verfügbar haben. Das sind die Dinge, wo wir dann auch in Richtung Bildung aufklären und so wie jetzt hier beim GreenTech Festival darüber sprechen und die Aufmerksamkeit erhöhen können.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, der Bildungsaspekt ist dann schon ein sehr erheblicher auch in der Arbeit.
Sehr erheblich, ja. Und dann eben bis hin zu dem Forschungsaspekt, um zu sehen, wie können wir alle weltweit die Biodiversität wieder zurückgewinnen.
Der Bildungsaspekt ist natürlich auch wichtig in Sachen Lieferketten. Die
Stimmt,
ständig zu hinterfragen, im Idealfall kurz zu halten oder kürzer werden zu lassen.
Ja.
Was macht ihr in der Richtung?
Das ist das zweite Thema, mit dem wir auch beim GreenTech Festival vertreten sind dieses Jahr. Unser Geschäftsführer von unserem Rohstoffeinkauf hat hier auch an einem Panel-Talk teilgenommen und genau darüber gesprochen. Wir haben für die Dr. Hauschka Kosmetik weltweite Rohstoffpartnerschaften für die Pflanzen, die wir nicht in Deutschland anbauen können und tragen da auch ganz stark dazu bei, dass mit biologisch dynamischer Landwirtschaft die Erde geheilt wird, mehr Biodiversität, aber auch fruchtbarere Böden, weniger Wasserverbrauch, all die Dinge, die uns gerade so stark beschäftigen, bis hin zu sozialer Verantwortung, wo wir den Menschen vor Ort, mit denen wir zusammenarbeiten, auch die Möglichkeit geben, sich dort eine Existenz aufzubauen, nicht von uns abhängig zu sein, ihre Kinder zur Schule zu schicken, eine gesundheitliche Versorgung zu gewährleisten. Und all die Dinge hängen mit dieser Lieferketten-Thematik zusammen, dass wir auch alle als Verbraucherinnen und Verbraucher immer uns bewusst sein müssen, alles, was wir kaufen, hat Auswirkungen auf die Menschen, die die Produkte herstellen. Entweder bei uns hier in Deutschland oder eben auch ganz weit weg am anderen Ende der Welt. Und das ist auch was, wo wir mehr aufklären möchten.
Ganz weit weg ist nochmal ein gutes Stichwort. Da hätte ich gerne eine Frage an dich. Ihr habt es gerade schon gesagt, du kommst aus Miami oder lebst in Miami und ihr habt ja einen super engen Austausch. Wie siehst du Miami jetzt im Vergleich zu Berlin in Sachen Nachhaltigkeit? Wie gehen die Leute damit um?
Ja, also in Miami ist auf jeden Fall noch ein neueres Thema Nachhaltigkeit in Bezug auf Mode. Jetzt langsam kommt immer mehr Aufmerksamkeit darauf zu, was natürlich super ist. Aber ich würde sagen, Europa ist auf jeden Fall im Bereich nachhaltige Mode schon einen Schritt voraus. Aber es ist immer toll, es zu verbinden. Und wie gesagt, wir konnten ja auch schon ein Projekt in Miami machen. So hat unsere Kooperation angefangen. Und es kam sehr gut an und es inspiriert die Leute. Und man kann auch sehen, dass da so ein Rollout-Effekt ist und Leute auch anfangen, was in dem Bereich zu machen, was wirklich sehr schön ist.
Und grundsätzlich den Modebereich, in dem ihr aktiv seid, wie seht ihr da die Entwicklung über die letzten 10, 15 Jahre?
Extrem. Also, weil unser Background ist ja London Fashion Week mit wirklichen Modenschauen und all dem. Und deswegen wollten wir auch in unserer nachhaltigen Mode nicht Kompromisse machen in dem Look, in dem Stil der Mode. Und anfangs war es sehr, sehr schwer, interessante, schöne Stoffe zu finden. Und da war eine sehr große Entwicklung in den letzten 5 Jahren, aber vor allem in den letzten 2 Jahren.
Vor allem auch vegane, nachhaltige Alternativen. Klar, du kannst dir immer ein veganes Leder finden, aber früher hat es wirklich immer zu 99% aus Plastik, war es auf Plastik basierend. Und heutzutage gibt es tatsächlich, und wir arbeiten auch nur mit diesen Materialien, Mangoleder, Ananasleder, Baumrinde. Ja. Also die tollsten Entwicklungen gibt es und die sind wirklich alle noch extrem neu über die letzten 5 bis 10 Jahre.
Von Miami nach London, ihr hattet da auf dem GreenTech Festival ein Bootcamp.
Richtig, das haben Daniela und ich zusammen gemacht. Ja. Und das war auch sehr wichtig zu sehen. London war eben das Thema auch viel Green Finance und diese geballte Finanzpower, die wir alle hier auf dem GreenTech Festival zusammen haben, zeigt, dass es möglich ist, tatsächlich gemeinsam, together we change, was verändern zu können.
Und ihr seid auch Teil der Jury.
Richtig,
also
genau.
Ihr seid super aktiv auch im GreenTech Festival Kosmos.
Ja, also wir merken eben, dass wir sehr viel beitragen können mit unserer Expertise, die wir seit vielen Jahrzehnten schon haben und sind da auch ein gefragter Gesprächspartner in Politik und in Wirtschaft, und in so einer Jury sind so viele unterschiedliche Institutionen und Unternehmen zusammen, dass es eigentlich auch fast schon wieder so ein Community-Kreis ist, der immer weiter wächst, wie man jetzt auch hier in Berlin sieht und dann auch in London, New York, Singapur.
Genau, es geht immer weiter.
Die Community stärkt sich und wächst und wird wirklich was verändern können. Da glaube ich ganz stark dran.
Abschließend noch eine Frage, wenn ihr das GreenTech Festival mit einem Wort, einem Adjektiv beschreiben würdet, was wäre es? Jede gerne für sich.
Fangt ihr an?
Ich würde auf jeden Fall auch Community sagen.
Ja.
Man merkt schon, Leute kommen zusammen, aber das war mein Wort, Community.
Cool.
Da schließe ich mich gerne an.
Dann schließe ich mich da auch an.
Okay. Ihr bildet ja auch eine Community.
Genau, wir gehören zusammen.
Das passt sehr gut. Vielen Dank für euren Besuch, hat sehr viel Spaß gemacht und wir nehmen mit, dass auf jeden Fall Dr. Hauschka und die Beauty-Szene an sich auch auf jeden Fall wahrnimmt, dass sie einen Bildungsaspekt hat in der Arbeit, der mitentscheidend ist für eine nachhaltige Zukunft. Umso schöner, dass ihr heute unsere Gäste wart. Danke.
Danke dir.
Danke.
Global warming is causing more and more heat stress for many people at home, during sports, work and leisure activities. This results in exhaustion at high temperatures in summer and an increased physical stress. Heat reduces the ability to concentrate or work, and heat stress is a big danger for our health. Not only risk groups such as older people, pregnant women or children suffer from heat, but much more. especially people with pre-existing conditions such as cardiovascular patients, people with respiratory problems as COPD, people with multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, vein problems or migraine react with an increase in symptoms or a worsening of their state of health. But even healthy people get in danger with temperatures of over 40 degrees. In heat waves of the past, over 30,000 people died worldwide. To solve this problem, the market of air conditioning systems has doubled since 2000, making it the fastest growing energy consumer in buildings. They were responsible for emissions of about 1 gigaton CO2 and over 8% of the world's total electricity consumption. Cooling systems increase the carbon footprint of the world. Together with their harmful refrigerants, this leads to more and more global warming and heat problems in the future. What can we do? An air conditioning system without any CO2 emissions, working indoors and outdoors. This is the vision of our company Performance International. We are a family company caring for climate with sustainable innovations. We have developed a textile cooling system and transform heat, climate-friendly, into cooling for more health, performance and well-being. Our company Performance International holds patents worldwide, received awards, and since the beginning of our development, we are the first climate-neutral textile company in the world.
We developed an innovative cooling system with a special fleece, a three-dimensional fleece, which can store water up to 10 times its weight. It can produce evaporative cooling simply by heat radiation. We use this, of course, to integrate it into clothing and cool people in a healthy way.
After excess, water has been squeezed out and dried. The liquid remains in the material and can only escape through evaporation. The clothes thus remain dry from the outside and cool with up to 660 watts for up to 10 hours. Our product addresses a fundamental problem predicted with climate change: heat. More heat means more air conditioning is used, which leads to more CO2 and heat. This vicious circle is to be broken with eCoolLine. By eliminating air conditioning, more than 90% of CO2 can be saved.
Heat has many health aspects most people do not know. Not only sweat and perhaps a bad feeling, it also puts a lot of stress on the cardiovascular system. It has been found that heat has a negative effect also on fat metabolism or sugar metabolism, and it even increases our aggressivity. There are many new studies on this. Due to climate change, more and more people will have health problems in the future. The cooling system is still used in many different areas, from workers' clothing to sports and leisure apparel and for medical reasons. We help people worldwide suffering from heat stress in a climate-friendly way. We already have cooling blankets in our portfolio, but there are also prototypes of cooling curtains that are successfully being tested at the Volksbank in Ulm. But one can also imagine cooling an exterior facade with it. There are many possibilities, including cooling in cars, because electric cars lose up to 50% of range with air conditioning. If you cool the roof or the sides, and thus quite simply achieving a cooling sensation without an air conditioning.
Besides clothing, we do see potential in other areas as well. Our goal is to show how easy functional sustainability can be. At Performance, we trust in the UN Sustainable Development Goals: green electricity, upcycling of waste fibers, offsetting CO2 through social environmental projects. All this is part of our philosophy for a future with green and sustainable cooling.
Welcome back to the GreenTech Festival live stream here in the middle of Berlin. We welcome you to celebrate change with us. And if you want to celebrate change with us, let's know that you are celebrating with us, please use the hashtag Together We Change. That's when we see what you are doing and what you're thinking about the GreenTech Festival 2022. And now, right now, I want to talk about 3 different companies, 2 partners since long time and 1 pretty new one, which is the long-term partners, SAP as well as Dresden Sommer. And the short-term partner is Restlos. Maybe you know them. I didn't know them before. Restlos is a service provider in the field of valuation and marketing of mixed and current assets. But what does this mean? They pursue the goals of sustainability, cost effectiveness, and community of interest. For example, when you are disposing of furniture, also shown visually in a few minutes, so you will get a short impression about that. Items will go through some form of recycling when disposed, for example, office supplies. That's super interesting because actually there's a lot of potential in that. But before we are talking about Restlos, we are going to talk about Dres and Sommer. They are a long-term partner of the GreenTech Festival, so we are super proud to have them here on board, and they bring an urban sustainability hub. And when they mean hub, they make it like this. They bring 17 sub-exhibitors and more than 150 square meters. And obviously, it's all about networking. It's all about exchanging ideas. And that's what's happening at Dres et Sommer. They are everyday challenging structures and designs and trying to find new touch points in case of sustainability. But we are also talking with SAP, as I mentioned before, and what kind of role the band Coldplay is playing in the SAP's sustainability strategy, you will find out in a minute. So stay with us and see you soon. When we talk about sustainability in real estate and construction, there's always one company which is named as a frontrunner, which is Dres and Sommer. And I'm really happy to welcome the CEO of Dres and Sommer here at the GreenTech Festival, Stefan Seidel. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, as well, each year.
Each year it's the same, but Dres and Sommer is growing, obviously. What are you showcasing this year at the GreenTech Festival?
Yeah, for me it's fantastic this year because we developed something new. We are not here as an exhibitor as Dres and Sommer. We developed the Urban Sustainability Hub, and there with 18 other partners we are showcasing what can we bring in our industry in the aspect of sustainability.
And the building and construction industry is quite negatively named in terms of CO2 emission. How is your feeling about that, and what kind of products and projects do you see to change that?
Yeah, first of all, there are more and more new materials coming in, or old materials which are famous. So once again, for example, as you see it here, wooden parts. So wood is growing. But I think even the old ones, like earth parts of earth and as well concrete. Concrete is responsible for 8% of the CO2 emissions. But we see that, for example, if you reuse the concrete, and there will be new solutions that even concrete will be in the next 5-7 years CO2 free. Or in the next step, you will put CO2 inside and you can store it. And there you can see the industry is going, but not fast as she should be.
So you would like to see them move faster, the whole industry?
Differently.
Urban mining was and is a hot topic. Are there certain examples which comes in your mind where it's working actually?
Yes, we have a reference in place, and we discussed it here as well on GreenTech. The front runner is the city of Heidelberg. So we all know mines, coal mines, gold mines, and the idea is to think about a city as a mine. So that means there are materials inside in the city, in the built world, and you can reuse that like a normal mine.
That's super interesting. We are here at one beautiful place, Berlin-Tegel, former Berlin-Tegel Airport. It's growing and it's developing a lot. It changes. Are you part of the change here?
Yes, first of all, we started with technical due diligence about the old buildings and what could happen from an old airport. And so that means city development, but as well with the sustainable consultancy. So what will happen here in the future? And for me, it's a real lighthouse project. It's maybe the largest wooden area or wooden built area in the world, because now we see here the airport, but in a few years we will see here a lot of housing built of wooden parts.
And that's an important part of the whole development as well. We're talking about housing in big cities, right? How do you tackle this challenge? Let's call it challenge. Sometimes it's called a problem as well, right?
Yeah, I think first of all, if you're designing and then stepping into construction, you need the land. And the land, we're running out of land. So that means we have to focus on our cities. And that means more density in the cities. And that density means we have to build higher. But as well to think about all the square meter which is needed. And think about not the different areas about living and working and retail, so bringing them closer together and then use the space in a different way.
And Dresden and Sommer is kind of acting like a hub here at the GreenTech Festival, and there are a lot of inspirational people, stuff to see, innovations. What are you looking for at the GreenTech Festival this year?
Yeah, I'm looking for new ideas, not only in our industry. For me, the relevant topic will be to see other industries and getting to know how they solve the problems, how they handle sustainability, and then you can adopt that to our industry. And that's one of the major topics I'm looking for, yeah.
And what's the next big thing from Dresden Sommer, what we can expect?
Yeah, at the moment, everyone is talking about energy, the energy crisis we have coming out of the Ukraine crisis. But the next big thing will be materials. Thinking in a new way about materials, and then we are maybe talking about a material crisis. And there we have the solution with the cradle-to-cradle principle in place, and I think that will be the future.
And we are excited about that. Thanks a lot for joining me today, Steffen. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wir befinden uns hier in der ehemaligen Zentrale der Immobilien Scout 24 in Berlin. Immobilien Scout 24 ist umgezogen. Die zurückgebliebenen Gegenstände werden von uns jetzt ausgebracht, sodass das Gebäude dann besenrein übergeben werden kann. Nach dem Auszug der Immobilien Scout kamen hier die netten Kolleginnen aus Nürnberg und haben die Ist-Aufnahme und Katalogisierung der zurückgebliebenen Gegenstände gemacht, sodass 1200 Lose auf den Markt gegangen sind. Nach Ablauf der Auktion haben wir dann einen Überblick und können damit anfangen, Kommissionen für Kunden zu bilden. Wir haben am Anfang Respekt vor dem Gebäude gehabt, weil die Anfahrmöglichkeiten nicht ganz so üppig sind, haben deswegen auch zeitig angefangen, die Tiefgarage zu bestücken, im Foyer und im Casino Möbelblöcke zu bilden. Toll ist an der ganzen Geschichte einfach, dass nichts übrig bleibt. Der Name ist Programm, restlos, und es ist vor allen Dingen eine nachhaltige Geschichte. Wenn man darüber nachdenkt, was jetzt so einen zweiten Produktlebenszyklus erreicht, kann man sagen, wir haben das Ding gerockt, die Bude wird rechtzeitig leer.
Als Leiterin von so einer kulturpädagogischen Einrichtung bin ich natürlich gezwungen, immer wieder auf Social Media unterwegs zu sein. Und so gucke ich natürlich auch immer auf Facebook, was so in der Welt so los ist. Und da wurde mir das angezeigt. Und so bin ich auf Restlos gekommen. Also es ist erstmal so, dass ich natürlich gesehen habe, oh Gott, elektrisch höhenverstellbare Schreibtische, das ist toll für uns, das brauchen wir. Was ich auch super finde, dass es die Möglichkeit gibt, die Sachen dann auch zu besichtigen, wenn man hier zu dem besagten Besichtigungstermin kommt. Und das ist, glaube ich, auch wichtig, weil man dann oft auch das einfach sehen will, in welchem Zustand sind die Sachen. Und sehen die wirklich so aus, wie sie auf den Bildern aussehen. Ja, der Geburtsprozess ist echt aufregend, muss ich sagen. Das ist schon Nervenkitzel. Bei unserem Tisch hat das super gut geklappt. Ich saß aber auch die ganze Zeit davor und habe die ganze Zeit mitgefiebert. Es hat natürlich nicht bei allen Artikeln geklappt, das muss man auch sagen. Bei vielen waren andere schneller. Bei der Abholung klappte alles reibungslos. Das hat mein Team gemacht. Die sind hingefahren mit dem Abholschein. Das Restlos-Team hat sie dort vor Ort empfangen. Sie konnten sich alles nochmal angucken. Das war ganz schön. Alles war vorbereitet und vorkonfektioniert, sodass wir das dann gleich einladen konnten und hierher bringen konnten. Und ich hoffe sehr, dass die Schreibtische sich wohlfühlen und hier ihr zweites Leben in dem zweiten Produktzyklus beginnen können. Ja, und für mich bleibt es an der Stelle nur noch, mich ganz herzlich bei dem Restlos-Team zu bedanken. Es war ein toller Prozess, es hat uns viel Spaß gemacht und das nächste Mal sind wir natürlich sehr gerne wieder mit dabei.
Der Name Restlos ist bei uns Programm. Wir stehen für nachhaltige Industrieauktionen und Verwertungen. Bei uns gibt es kein Cherrypicking, was durch Umzug, Betriebsauflösung übrig geblieben ist, geht bei uns mit in die Verwertung. Wir bieten nicht nur Industrieanlagen und Maschinen an, sondern lösen auch Bürostandorte auf, Werkstätten, Gastronomie, Kunstsammlungen, das nur um einige zu nennen. Ein Aspekt der Nachhaltigkeit ist bei uns auch, dass wir Verwertungen immer ab Standort, ab Auftragsbestätigung innerhalb von 6 Wochen abwickeln. Wir sparen Logistik, wir sparen Manpower, wir sparen dadurch Ressourcen. Seit 2020 sind wir schon dabei, Emissionen zu berechnen, die aufgrund von Nichtentsorgung eingespart werden können. Und zukünftig sind wir auch dabei, das auszuweiten auf alle Branchen, die wir verwerten. Mit Restlos leisten also nicht nur unsere Auftraggeber, sondern auch unsere Käufer einen wichtigen Beitrag für eine klimaneutrale Zukunft.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm working in the German office of the CTO. For decades, companies have been focusing on growing and improving their business with the help of digitalization. Today, various pressure points force companies to rethink their business and act sustainably. Everyone wants to become carbon neutral. Everyone wants to reduce waste, and everyone wants to act socially responsible. And there is no other option. Companies that don't make sustainability a top priority will stay behind the competition. Sustainability is a holistic challenge and touches every line of business. To make the right decisions, you need full transparency over your situation. And the basis for that is data. Without technology, it is not possible to collect these data from various sources, learn from it, and use your understanding to optimize business processes. Globalization has raised the level of complexity. Handling modern value chains is like directing an orchestra. Sustainability regulations like the Supply Chain Due Diligence Act are now creating a real challenge for many customers. 80% of all business transactions affect an SAP system. On top of that, we are operating the largest business network. Therefore, we are able to provide all relevant data and business processes to run sustainable decisions. You could call SAP the mother of business processes, and this experience helps us to master sustainability together with customers and partners. We approach sustainability from two sides. One, we adapted our existing solution portfolio so that we are able to face sustainability in the existing business process. And two, we develop a specialized solution portfolio, the SAP Cloud for Sustainable Enterprises, that is covering specific sustainability topics like the calculation of product footprints, responsible product designs, and even more. Like that, companies don't only comply with regulations, but can transform their entire business to become sustainable and profitable at the same time. Let's be clear, sustainability can be a huge task. The basis is using the right data to get the transparency you need to drive good decisions. But you cannot achieve that alone. You need strong partnerships to bring together everything you need, just like we did with Coplay. Have a look yourself.
We've tried to put sustainability at the center of this tour because it just feels like the only option. We're really excited about all of the things that we have in the show right now. That's kinetic flooring, which makes power when you jump on it. These bicycles that anyone can get on at any point in the show and pedal, and it creates power. And our wristbands are made out of plant-based stuff. And we're also really excited about the things which we don't know about yet. It's been a true joy to work with SAP. I think what's so nice is the shared belief system, specifically in this case, putting the environment at the center of everything we do.
When we started the discussions with the band, they expressed a wish to run a more sustainable tour. And actually after a minute we figured out, hey, with their wish and our technology, this is the perfect match.
There's lots of unique content that can only be unlocked through the app. There's photos and videos and live streams and AR interactive stuff. It helps you to become part of the environmental side of the show by looking at the cleanest and greenest way that you can get to the concert and home again and work out how to offset those emissions.
Let's team up to make this tour as sustainable as possible. This is SAP, this is our commitment.
Welcome back to the GreenTech Festival live stream. We are here live in Berlin, the old airport, and now Berlin TXL. And I would like to welcome one of our big partners at the GreenTech Festival 2022. It's Annelie Peters, Chief Sustainability Officer for Middle and Eastern Europe at SAP. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
What are you showcasing at the GreenTech Festival 2022?
Yeah, well, we got an interactive and very cool showcase that puts you in the shoes of an owner for a sailboat manufacturer. And what we want to show there is how can you really optimize in future against various topics? Because you need to balance planet, people, and profit. Because only once you do that will you be really sustainable in the end. Because you can't all work on planet, you can't all put everything on people, so you need to balance that. And in this playful, interactive showcase, you have time pressure and need to answer questions in order really to balance that. And then you get a showcase, and let's say according to your performance, how well you've done, and really to, like in a playful way, get people acquainted with, okay, in future we need to optimize against various criteria.
And how do people react on that?
Well, we got 2 screens there, and people are really like, oh, well. But first of all, it's like tap, right? It's like easy. Everybody wants to play it. Yeah, exactly. Everybody wants to get connected. Mm-hmm. And once they understand how it works, so usually it's very intuitive, so you can just start and play. And then it's like, okay, what does it mean? Like, why are you showcasing this? And then you really come into the discussion of, okay, listen, this is really, you need to integrate all these decisions in future in all your business processes. Otherwise, we will never be able to really execute on our goals.
And do you think one certain topic is overseen by many, or is it just you see people and you don't see nature, or you see a business and you don't see people?
Well, we need to probably check the statistics on that one.
Yeah.
I think that people are really well off. So especially here in GreenTech, people are really open-minded and they understand, okay, you can't all go for only green. You really need to have a balance there. And I think that, at least from what I saw, that people are really looking very well balanced there.
Let's focus a little bit more on SAP itself. Why is sustainability so important for you? Why is it a business imperative?
So when it comes to that topic, I got two favorite numbers, 94 and 88.
Should I guess?
Oh yeah, do please.
No, I won't.
So 94 is because we get all of our employees, and 94% of them are really saying that sustainability is one of the core topics for SAP. So we really embrace it, and the whole culture rallies behind that and really says, okay, this is something you need to take care of. So that's why I find it really important that everybody is behind that. And for us, we've been on a sustainability journey as a company for over 10 years now. And so we've been a respected and recognized leader also. So we, for example, CDP's A-list and Dow Jones also for the sustainability rating, we're #1 in the industry. So really something that we're really proud of, and also our employees are. And my second favorite number
88.
is 88, exactly. Did you know that SAP touches 88% of the world's supply chains? 88%.
That's a lot.
So think about the impact that we can have. If we help these customers and our partners to really make these supply chains sustainable, that's kind of the value that we can bring.
And now you're talking about the clients and the customers. How do you get them to be more sustainable then? I mean, you are kind of spreading a fire and you want to change something. How do you get your clients involved?
So actually they are involved. So I have not spoken to anybody who says, it's not a topic for me, it's not relevant.
Hopefully.
So no, it's like everybody's on the same page there. The question isn't whether we do that, the question is how are we doing to that? And what we've seen is, and it's also my firm belief, that sustainability and profitability, they're no longer exclusive. They used to be in the past, and sustainability has been like just an add-on, nice to have. It's no longer the case. So we've seen actually that sustainable companies and their share value has increased by 46% on average just last year. So that's kind of the impact this has. And that's exactly also what our customers tell us. It's like, we need to do this, we want to do this. So what we've seen is that there are 3 fundamental steps where we can support them. First one is the whole topic of data transparency. Because in the end, you can't manage what you can't measure. And that's where we have a really good case, because we can help our customers to really get data transparency at the granular level. So what we will do is we will provide a green ledger that helps our customers really to account, not just for, let's say, sales and costs, but also against CO2 emissions.
Supply chain.
Exactly. 88%, right? So that's exactly the point where we can be really supportive. And so, for example, when we talk with one of our customers, Unilever, we help them to get transparency on their whole palm oil supply chain, that they can track it from the source all the way to the end product. And that's something that they can also promote to their customers, saying, listen guys, we can make sure there's like sustainable palm oil in here. And that's kind of the impact that we have. There's a second step where you really include that into the end-to-end processes. Because as I mentioned, you need to have it at the basis level, at the granular level, in order to really not just measure it, but to take actions afterwards. And for example, with a very cool band, Coldplay, we're working together because they had the vision of saying, we want to have a most sustainable concert. How are we going to achieve that? Because when their fans travel to the concerts, that's one of their major contributors to their CO2 emissions.
Sure.
So we said, okay, how can we team up? And so we built an app which is an interactive and immersive experience for the fans, while at the same time giving them the option to really have better decisions of how to travel there. And really, in the end, helping Coldplay to minimize their CO2 emissions. And as a third step, the network. Because you need to really not just think of your own chain and your own organization, but you need to think cross boundaries.
Thinking cross boundaries. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Annelie. It was a pleasure talking to you. Wish you all the best for the project at SAP. Take care and see you soon.
Thank you so much.
In addition to the awards and the exhibition, we have a very important pillar at the GreenTech Festival 2022, which is the conference. And of course, it's all about networking, it's about expanding knowledge and finding new insights. So it's all about exchanging goals and visions. We have startup pitches, we have keynotes, we have panel discussions, and all these informations you can find after the event on our YouTube channel. So feel free to share them, to see them, and then to spread the vision of the GreenTech Festival 2022. And of course, please use the hashtag #TogetherWeChange and let us know what you think and thought about the GreenTech Festival. Now we have to go back to the conference speakers, and one of them is Huawei. And Huawei is in a bit with me. It's Ingobert Veit. He's the Vice President Public Policy. He will be my guest shortly, and I'm super... Das machen wir nochmal, das kriegen wir besser hin. Okay, letzter Versuch. In addition to the awards and the exhibition, the conference is a really important pillar at the GreenTech Festival 2022. And of course, it's all about networking, expanding ideas, expanding knowledge, and finding new insights to work on a brighter future for all of us. And there are so many different startup pitches, so many panel discussions, so many keynotes. You have to see them, you have to check them out. And you can, of course, at our YouTube channel of the GreenTech Festival 2022. And you can of course, also tag us, mention us when you're talking about us, what you think about the GreenTech Festival. Please use the hashtag Together We Change. Now we are going back to the conference speakers, which is Huawei, and I will welcome in a bit here the Ingobert Veit. He's the Vice President Public Policy, and he will be my guest in short time. And it's really exciting to have Huawei here with me because they are really concentrating on sustainability and 3 different topics, which is green clouds, blockchain, and ICT. So stay tuned, stay with us, and stay healthy. Thanks a lot for joining us today. We are at the GreenTech Festival Livestream 2022, obviously, and we are really happy to have many special and like-minded people who work on a greener future with all of us together, like my new guest, Ingobert Veit. He's Vice President Public Policy at Huawei. Thanks a lot for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. Great to be here.
You should use this one.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
That's no problem. So Huawei is an exhibitor here at the GreenTech Festival this year. What are you showcasing?
We are basically showcasing our products which enables the solar industry. In particular, we're showcasing so-called digital string inverters, which you need in order to build up photovoltaic panels. And this is something we are showcasing here, combined with a home storage solution. That means people can generate their green energy and storage themselves in their own houses for their own usage. This is basically what we're showing. On top, we also show our devices and some general approaches we apply in order to make our network technologies more energy efficient and therefore more sustainable.
You started with photovoltaic and not the device. Is this also kind of the way it goes for Huawei?
Absolutely. I mean, our customers are operating in the new world, and the new world clearly has understood that we need to implement sustainability. We have political framework, political targets in Germany. We have the European Green Deal, and therefore there's a lot of pressure in the industry to bring the carbon footprint down. And of course, we try to respond on that requirement in our products in order to help our customers in the best way.
How important is the digitalization in that case, in the case of sustainability?
It's very important. I would say we are talking here two directions. First one is digitalization is the absolutely key and leverage for more sustainability. We need digitalization in order to come in a scenario of sustainability. This is the case why digitalization or digital technologies are general purpose technologies, we call it. They are not designed for a particular purpose. So it depends how you use them. And you can use them for many scenarios. And for example, in digitalization, you need sound digital infrastructure. And if you have this, you can, for example, transform our mobility sector. You can transform our energy sector from a centralized power generation distribution to a decentralized. And taking also very important aspects like the circular economy. All of this will be built on the basis of digitalization, and therefore there's this huge leverage impact. However, at the same time, digitalization or digital infrastructure, of course, also have a carbon footprint, which needs to be reduced.
And do you have a best practice example for that?
I would say there is not the one best practice. For us, it's important, and this is, for example, what we try to figure out or where we try to support our customers to implement a holistic approach, really top-down, to set clear indicators and targets on how much you want to reduce your carbon footprint. And then you try to incorporate this in the various levels of your network. We are dealing a lot with hardware networks. So, for example, data centers, very important digital infrastructure, can significantly reduce their carbon footprint by various measures, such as in the design of the data center, in the way you cool it, and many other things. And this we try in a comprehensive way to implement to have an overall effect. So not to focus on a single component, rather on the whole picture.
We were talking a lot with different kind of projects and startups and corporates about politics and how they can help to move faster. What is your and Huawei's opinion about that?
I would say, and I think I would refer by this to what I said earlier, everything what is done on the policy side in order to speed up digitalization, to speed up to really implement sound and capable digital infrastructures will help us in the implementation or in meeting more sustainability. So each policy is welcome to speed up digitalization, to make it a little bit more tangible, but maybe not that sexy. For example, in Germany, huge issue, the license processes for various infrastructure projects are much too long and complicated and bureaucratic. Yeah? We really need to speed up here, and that would also help us in terms of sustainability.
Do you think the current situation, which is really challenging for all of us, helps to speed it up? I mean, there are some processes going quite fast at the moment. We never thought about them before.
Yes, absolutely. There's a momentum. Also, for example, if you refer to the example of the LNC terminals, where they granted in a very fast way approvals. However, the question is, can we also expand this to, say, the regular parts of the networks? And the networks, I'm talking about the energy grid, but I'm also talking about the telco network. Yeah? On the one hand side, the gigabit networks, the fiber, but also the mobile networks. And if you go there in the rural areas, but also in the cities, I don't see this effort in terms of, we really speed this up now. So what you refer to is a very special case, and we experienced, we can change, we can do it differently. However, I don't see it in a general scale.
Okay, then we have to work on that. And
Absolutely.
You are doing that. What's the next big thing for you as Huawei?
Many people and customers asking us this. Very difficult to answer. And to be honest, I can't answer it with a specific technology or with a specific use case.
Product.
What I can say is that we, of course, realized how important sustainability is. So we committed as Huawei that by 2025, all of our products, will consume 270% less energy compared they consume in 2019. And by this, we really try to make an impact as we really significantly improve our products, which we deliver to our customers, to have here a certain leverage effect. And this is, to be honest, the next big thing, because that really puts a lot of pressure on us internally to really improve all of our products. And believe me, our engineers have quite a headache about this, but I'm very confident that we will here come up with great technological solutions.
Do you have the feeling that it's only positive pressure, let's call it this way? Which is because I guess that the employees all want to go in the same direction because they see the big goal.
Of course, I would say purpose-wise, it's certainly positive pressure, because everybody realizes, okay, this is something what we need to do. However, like always, if you need to have success, if you need to be good, there is pressure. And of course, as I said, if you try to apply this for all products, it's a challenge, because they are maybe in different maturity grades and so on, and it really challenges the whole organization. And you cannot say, okay, let's focus on one core project and they can cover for the others. So nobody can hide, if you want so. And that's certainly pressure who maybe not everybody likes that much.
That's an interesting quote. Nobody can hide. And I would like to end with this. Thanks a lot, Ingobert, for joining us today. Nobody can hide, because everybody is affected by all of these topics we are talking about: climate change, plastic pollution, overfishing. So we have to work together and find solutions, and that's what we're doing at the GreenTech Festival 2022. Thanks a lot for joining us and joining me today. My name is Clemens. I'm your host. I hope you enjoyed this show. So far, we have many, many special and inspiring guests to talk to and, yeah, special ideas for a more sustainable future for all of us. And of course, what's really important about sustainable progress is culture, lifestyle. And that's something we celebrate at the GreenTech Festival, obviously, because we have always different kind of musicians here. For example, at the award show, there was Alvaro Soler, who had a really inspiring talk about his sustainable approach. And for the first time, we have a photographer with us who's called Nick Brandt. He's working together with MBP at the GreenTech Festival. And they are really showing some impressive photography about Africa, the wildlife, but also its people. And yeah, the visitors here at the GreenTech Festival are super inspired by that. And if you want to join, feel free to come around till 6 p.m. today. You can see the pictures at the MPP booth. So the photo exhibition is located in the interior of the hangar, and it's a real highlight for all of us. But we are not only talking about photos, we are also talking about music. And as I said, Alvaro Soler was a special guest. And when we're talking about music at the GreenTech Festival, it's always with the German Telekom. And they are supporting us with the Telekom Street Gig. And the appearance of them increased from year to year, which makes it even more important and even more successful for all of us. And on Wednesday, we had a really special guest. They are called Milky Chance at the Kraftwerk Berlin as part of this year's GreenTech Festival. So it was really a great atmosphere. The Milky Chance plays as well a special role in case of sustainability. They are asking a lot of questions, uncomfortable questions about their way to travel and their way to play concerts all around the world. So this is important to us. And we have another cultural and lifestyle exhibitor with us, which is called Wings for Living, and they are going to introduce themselves in a short moment. Their theme is recycling of wind turbines. With the current status of disposal, 80 to 90% of materials used can currently be reused. But first, let me say hello to our guests from MPB. Thanks for joining us today at the GreenTech Festival Livestream here in Berlin. And right now we're talking about a pretty strong communication tool, which are pictures. And when I look at this picture, I'm quite impressed. I will show you later. But first of all, I want to introduce my two guests at the moment. Thanks a lot for joining me, which is Jennifer Tietze from MBP. She's Head of Brand Marketing Europe. And hi. Ellen Villas, sorry for that. Yeah, thanks a lot. It's a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
MBP is the worldwide leader of platform in terms of used photographs and video kits. Why do you do such a project?
So we're the sponsor of the Nick Brandt exhibition, and the idea why we're sponsoring it is because what unites us is that we strongly believe that photography has the power, or can drive change. And what we see with photography is that it takes us to places that we wouldn't maybe go to, but it takes us to places that are sometimes really nice and sometimes they're not that comfortable. But I think Nick Brandt did a really tremendous job in showing those places and helping people, just to understand where they can impact, where they have an impact on society.
Just having a look at these pictures, I want to show them with you, share them with you as well, of course. They're quite emotional, I would say. Sometimes overwhelming.
Absolutely. We've been presenting these works in exhibitions in Europe, and many times people actually stop and they cry because it hits you in the gut. Mm-hmm. So this is a project by Nick Brandt. He's a British photographer. living in the US at the moment. He started off photographing animals in Africa, and he's captured the souls of these animals like no one else have done, if you ask me. Now he's on this mission. The Day May Break is a global ongoing project. So far he's been in Africa, in 3 countries in Africa, and he's been in Bolivia, and we are also showing a few images from Bolivia in this exhibition with MPB.
Did you ask the visitors how they feel about the pictures?
We can see that a lot of them are spending a lot of time in there, and they're also very interested in the behind-the-scenes panels that we put in there intentionally, because many people find it hard to believe that these animals and the people are captured at the same time in the same frame. There's no Photoshop. There's no, It's real.
You should definitely come and join us at the GreenTech Festival, at least to see these amazing pictures. It's great to have you with us here. Tell us a little bit more about the purpose of MVP. How do you enable visual storytelling that's good for people and the planet?
Yes, so we were founded in 2011, and now we're actually recirculating 350,000 pieces of used camera and photo equipment. And if you look at kit or video and photo kit, it's actually interesting, because if you look at the electronic industry, it's made to last. It's made to last for long, and it's made to also function for long. And this is the beauty of photography or of photo kit. And what we do is actually create or provide access to more kit to more people. So we put kit into more hands, and we do that in a sustainable way and very affordably. And by doing so, people who sell to MPB, they create an income for themselves, and the ones that buy have a bigger choice and can afford more. And this all happens with a lower footprint. And actually in everything that we do, so it's not about only our circular business model that we operate in, but it's also that we apply those principles of sustainability, which is circularity, which is inclusion, but also diversity across the entire business. So it starts with the product, but it's also the workplace, it's the supply chain, the partners that we work with.
And do you feel that the demand of your product is growing because the whole world is talking about sustainability?
I guess it's an important topic, and kit has always been important because, as I said, those visual storytellers that use kit, they just use it to express something, such as Nick Brand does, and it's timeless, I'd say. Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the next project of Nick Brand? Because we are super excited to see new photographies.
I'm just as excited and curious as you are. So this, the Africa work that you have in the book there, that's chapter 1. The Bolivia part is chapter 2. And I have no idea where he's going for chapter 3 and 4 and 5. But The Day May Break, as I said, is an ongoing global project. So he's
when is he going to inform you, or is it just
I guess when he's there. I don't know. We'll see.
That's super interesting.
But it's also interesting. I want to mention, because there's one of the pictures in the book which I thought would be a perfect cover for the UN climate report. It looks a bit like this one, but it's with a woman and a very resilient girl confronting the camera. And this would be a perfect kind of cover image for what we're all talking about here at the festival. It's, these are the victims for what's going on, and we need to change.
Do you believe that there are less people seeing these pictures still? Should there be a bigger platform for these kind of messages?
Yes, I think we see that museums and exhibition places are opening up more and more for this, so it's good. But of course, these works can affect people in ways that a written report cannot do. So I think it's super important that we share it with as many as possible. Yes, and this is a perfect place for it.
And what are you looking for at the GreenTech Festival, except watching visitors watching the photographies?
Innovations, I guess, mostly. I was super impressed by the award ceremony last night and the companies who make an impact.
Yeah, I think it's like really nice to have so many change makers under one roof, and it's always nice to get different views from different industries, experts from different fields. And I'm just really keen on seeing how they tackle that problem or that challenge that we all have in common from their different angle, and how they work on their puzzle piece to make that change work. I think that's what I want to see.
Everyone is working on his little puzzle piece, and step by step we're going hopefully in a greener future. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thank you.
Jennifer and Ellen, it was a pleasure. All the best for the exhibition.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks a lot for joining us at the GreenTech Festival live stream. And now we're going to talk about communication and sustainability and how this goes together. And of course, the telecom is one of the biggest players in that market and developing a lot over the last couple of years. So thanks a lot for joining me. Christian Kühner, you are the Sustainability Program Lead worldwide. And machen wir nochmal. Sorry. Bitte entschuldigt. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining us today at the GreenTech Festival live stream. Please don't forget to use our hashtag Together We Changed, and we know what you think about the live stream and the exhibition in general. And now we're going to talk about communication and sustainability. And this all together is done and will be done by the Telecom. And we're really happy to welcome you today at our live stream. Christian Kühner, Program Lead Sustainability Germany. And we have Michael Hackspiel, Program Lead Sustainability Worldwide. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Christian, first question goes into your direction. What are we going to expect at the booth of the Telecom this year at the GreenTech Festival?
We have decided to focus on circularity, and that has a lot to do with using smartphones for a longer period. So we exhibit a way that we also do in our shops for small repairs, like displays, what we can do in a telecom shop. But we also display like how we sell refurbished devices, used phones, which are professionally cleaned and then again for sale. And then we also have a very interesting way how you can scan yourself for fashion orders in the internet, and by doing that properly you avoid returns, unnecessary returns. And of course we also showcase Everphone, a partnership that we do where business customers can use phones as a service.
And Green Magenta is a special topic for you as well. What is it and what is it all about?
Yeah, we believe you have to give kids names. And if your kid is called Green Magenta, it's our program where we kind of collect all initiatives which we, Deutsche Telekom, together with partners, developed to drive sustainability. So it's kind of a name, a category where we really want to encourage people to develop processes, product, programs which drive into sustainability and which push such sustainability at Deutsche Telekom.
The feeling I get is that there are so many different aspects at the Deutsche Telekom at the moment. Did you believe in advance 2 or 3 years ago that it would be so complex and so many different aspects involved?
Let me probably give a little bit of how we look onto what we sometimes call the corners or the North Stars of sustainability. If you look at it from the very bottom, Deutsche Telekom is the leading European carrier with the biggest networks. You need networks for digitization. Mobile networks, fixed line networks, converged networks. Without networks, you don't have connectivity. Without connectivity, you don't have digitization. Without digitization, and we hear this everywhere, you have no sustainable way. So our main homework, and that's our duty and our business, is build sustainable networks so everybody, and that's, by the way, the brother of green magenta, that's good magenta, everybody can participate on the networks. That's the one part of our homework. And then the second one is we want to do this sustainable. What does that mean? First of all, since 2021, so we have been looking at this already for some time, our networks are driven with 100% renewable energy. So we looked at this in the past, but there's huge amount of data going to come. Every year, the data which goes through our networks will increase by 25%, which means, easy mathematics, in 4 years it has doubled. We want to do this with the same level of energy. How do you achieve 4 times more in 4 years? Same level of energy, you have to be more efficient. So that's our home turf, energy efficiency. And then obviously what Christian said, there is a lot of services and their complexity comes into which we wanted to put on top for our customers. And one is the circular aspect, the other one is the cloud aspect in the business consumers. So that's where we believe Telekom has an enablement role. We will bring and help our customers to a more sustainable business themselves. That's our second duty. Build networks, enable customers.
How do you do that?
Let me perhaps look at it from a customer point of view. And for customers, they buy our products and our tariffs. And when they have a router at home, this typically runs 24 hours a day. So it makes a difference if the customer chooses a router that has an eco-label sign, making sure that the energy consumption is on a relatively low level. And if they buy this eco-labeled router from Deutsche Telekom, most of our customers rent it. So at the end of the lifetime, they give it back to us so we can professionally clean it, refurbish it, we can use it again, or those devices which are really out of order, we do recycle in a very professional way.
And what about business customers? Is it the same?
Yeah, it's even stronger on the business customer sides because there is the movement on the consumer side. And we know this from mobility concepts. It's what do we eat? You see it all over here. It's about healthy and sustainable food. It's about healthy and sustainable clothing. So we need those offers, like Christian said, also on telecommunication. Customers will ask for that. And therefore, it's not something which is nice to have. It's stronger than this. If you don't have it, you will lose customer.
It's a USP.
So for us, it's essential to go that. On business customers, we would lose business today if we would not fulfill certain sustainable criteria. Let me give you an example. 2 weeks ago, we got a request from a bank, do an offer for X thousand mobile SIMs. You know what we got first? 100-question questionnaire about sustainability at Deutsche Telekom. So it becomes an essential part of the relationship between us and our customers. So we will enable them with our products, and I mentioned the networks, I mentioned clouds, to get more sustainable. So that's a little bit on the business side. It's a cooperation between big customers and us to become more sustainable.
Digitalization and getting data is really energy consuming at the moment. Streaming as well, it's a big point. Is it what would you say? Is it a good or a bad movement in that direction?
Let me perhaps share with you how I look at the situation. I mean, the digitization and the internet has given us so many innovations. And this is all what GreenTech Festival is all about. It's about digitization. So this is progress. This is advancement of this planet. On the other hand, of course, the internet runs on electricity. Yeah, let's be true. It runs on electricity, but we can solve that first of all by using more and more sustainable energy, but also again the innovations help us to save energy by replacing old technology by more efficient technology, by having a closer look at how we can use this technology, for example, the Internet of Things, to make our processes more efficient. So me personally, I'm a digital optimist. So if I look at it, I like to see the glass half full, while also looking at the energy consumption. Wherever we can save energy in the data centers by more efficient cooling or by centralizing it, then this is our duty as Deutsche Telekom to work on that. But I think the innovations are for our customers and for humanity as a whole.
Do you think the glass is half full at the moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah, or is it more or less?
I mean, you could spend hours on examples what good things have happened due to the internet. Yeah? And this is a book with thousands of pages. On the other hand, if you just see the amount, the degree of change, how fast innovations come right now, I think it's even more important to focus on what will come. I believe that exponential change will hit us hard.
What has the Telekom already achieved for you within the last couple of years in terms of sustainability?
Some things I already mentioned.
Yeah.
Networks, 100% renewable energy. Big enablement factors. Factor 5 to 1, I think it is, already achieved for our customers. And the last thing, and I would like to change the topic a little bit into your last point. The initiative Good Magenta is tackling the same thing. Because you are right. With internet, with digital communication, with digitization, there's also negative. Yeah, let's talk all those hate speech things. And I don't know whether you have seen our big campaign on that one. Telecom feels responsible to also see what happens on our networks. And we will be very outspoken what we like and what we don't like. And together with Billie Eilish, for example, where we had the concert and where we did a lot of campaigning, and we call it Gegen Hass im Netz, we will be outspoken that we believe people should act responsible, nice and friendly with each other and not use hate speech or other things. So Telecom is not stopping at network. Telecom is not stopping at what people might expect from us. We will also go in the area where we feel we have a good Magenta responsibility. That's our DNA. People shall be able to participate in the internet, but we will also work against people who misbehave on the internet.
And that's definitely missing at the moment. We see that a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and all the best for the GreenTech Festival 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Let's enjoy the GreenTech Festival.
Yes.
Hallo, ich bin André von Wings for Living und wir machen Windenergie wirklich nachhaltig. Windräder erzeugen täglich etwa 12,5 Megawattstunden sauberen Strom und versorgen rund 1000 Haushalte. Dabei sparen sie nebenbei ca. 36.500 Tonnen CO2. Wenn Windräder aufgrund von Ineffizienz zurückgebaut werden müssen, entsteht jedoch ein Problem. Die aus Glasfaser verstärkten Kunststoff- und Carbonfasern bestehenden Rotorblätter lassen sich bisher kaum recyceln. So entstehen zwischen 10 und 20 Tonnen Sondermüll pro Rotorblatt. Wir verlängern das Leben der Rotorblätter, indem wir aus ihnen einzigartige Automöbel bauen. Als Flügel zum Leben. In Zusammenarbeit unseres Joint Venture Partners Anmet mit dem Designlehrstuhl der Universität Jelena Góra sind einzigartige Sitzbänke, Hochbeete und Gartenliegen entstanden. Die Rotorblätter werden dabei aufwendig filetiert, geschliffen und aufgearbeitet und dann mit nachhaltig gewachsenem Lärchenholz oder einem Material aus abgecycelten Altkleidern veredelt. Die daraus entstehenden Wings eignen sich nicht nur für die private Terrasse oder Garten, sondern geben auch Städten oder Firmen eine einzigartige Möglichkeit einer nachhaltigen Möblierung. Together we change, we turn the future of outdoor living. Wings for Living.
Most of the time you're seeing me and of course our guests here in the studio at the GreenTech Festival, but we are always on track at the exhibition as well. And now we're going to visit a really special booth which is called Performance, and you will know in short notice why they are called like this. And as we are an international conference and festival, sometimes we have to change from German to English to German, and now we're going to switch into German. I hope you can follow us as well. Ja, ich freue mich jetzt riesig, hier am Stand zu stehen von Performance mit dem Produkt Ecoline. Und vielleicht habt ihr das Produkt auch schon im Fernsehen gesehen. Das Schweizer Fußballnationalteam spielt unter anderem mit deren Westen. Und ich freue mich jetzt riesig, den CEO bzw. die CEOin von Performance vorstellen zu dürfen, die Gabriele. Herzlich willkommen auf dem GreenTech Festival, Gabriele.
Dankeschön, vielen Dank.
Was dürfen wir denn hier heute bestaunen?
Ja, wir haben kühlende Textilien. Das ist eine spezielle Technologie, die wir entwickelt haben, die einfach nur mit Wasser und Luft den Körper klimatisiert, also wie eine Klimaanlage zum Anziehen, jetzt im Fall von der Kleidung. Die gibt es in allen möglichen Variationen, ob das jetzt für T-Shirts, Westen, aber auch für Kopfbedeckungen, Arm- und Beinkühlung. Also man kann sich mehr oder weniger von unten bis oben kühlen und hat damit praktisch so eine Klimaanlage eben zum Anziehen. Und die kann man überall mitnehmen, also draußen, drinnen, überall.
Das Stichwort Klimaanlage ist ja im Nachhaltigkeitsbereich nicht so richtig gern gesehen, weil es natürlich viel CO2 auch verursacht. Wie ist es bei euch und wie geht ihr das an?
Also das ist wirklich ein Problem mit der Klimaanlage. Es wird ja mal heißer, immer mehr Leute machen natürlich Klimaanlagen an oder besorgen sich welche. Wir haben 1 Gigatonne CO2 pro Jahr allein durch Klimaanlagen, über 8% der elektrischen Energie weltweit über Klimaanlagen. Das ist natürlich wirklich ein Thema und deswegen können wir eben klimaneutral und nachhaltig kühlen, weil wir eben nur Wasser und Luft brauchen und wir brauchen keinen Kühlschrank, keine Energiequelle, einfach gar nichts. Es geht nur über Verdunstungskälte. Wir erreichen aber mit der Technologie trotzdem 660 Watt Kühlenergie.
Und ich habe es gerade schon erwähnt, im Sport werden eure Produkte fleißig getragen, aber das geht natürlich auch einfach zu Hause, oder?
Ja klar, ich meine, das ist ja, zwischenzeitlich wird es immer heißer, die letzten Jahre haben es gezeigt und wir können das zu Hause, natürlich in jeder Dachwohnung, aber natürlich in den Städten hat es sowieso 10 Grad mehr als auf dem Land, aber natürlich auch in den Fabriken. Ne? Also jemand arbeitet an einer Gießerei im Stahlwerk, da ist es richtig heiß, also das ist eigentlich unsere Hauptzielgruppe im Moment und aber natürlich klar, jeder, der irgendwie mit Hitze ein Problem hat, bis hin zu Krankheiten, die mit Hitze noch mehr Symptome haben, die damit eigentlich fast gar nicht mehr klarkommen, also es ist wirklich ein Thema.
Es ist vor allem auch sehr, sehr zukunftsträchtig. Ihr denkt in die Zukunft. Es geht natürlich bei euch aber vielleicht nicht nur um Kleidung. Wie sieht es denn zum Beispiel mit Mobilität aus, also mit Autos?
Ja, also wir haben angefangen mit den Heimtextilien und haben gesagt, wir können auch Räume kühlen durch kühlende Bettdecken oder kühlende Vorhänge. Kommen wir nachher vielleicht noch kurz drauf. Aber natürlich auch Fahrzeuge. Also E-Mobilität, weiß man ja, ne? Energie ist nicht unendlich in dem Fahrzeug vorhanden. Da kommt mit Klimaanlage nur die halbe Strecke so weit, was ja sowieso noch nach wie vor ein Thema ist. Also auch das ist was, wo wir im Moment Projekte haben schon mit 2 Herstellern, die eben sagen, wie kann man jetzt den Teil wenigstens der Klimatisierung über unsere Technologie bewerkstelligen, um damit natürlich Reichweite zu gewinnen, aber auch natürlich Energie zu sparen. Ist ja natürlich im Moment ein Thema. Energie haben wir sowieso nicht genug, also damit kann man wirklich was erreichen.
Und du hast es gerade schon angesprochen, Hitze ist natürlich ein großes Thema, jetzt in Mitteleuropa auch präsent aktuell, aber nicht so schlimm wie in anderen Regionen auf der Welt. Wie geht ihr das Thema an?
Ja, also wir haben relativ schnell angefangen zu internationalisieren auch, damit wir einfach die Regionen, die eben noch heißer sind als jetzt in Deutschland, natürlich auch erreichen. Und da ist es natürlich umso wichtiger, weil viele Regionen weltweit, das liest man ja auch teilweise im Lancet oder IPCC-Bericht, dass man da wirklich Probleme hat, dass einfach Teile nicht mehr bewohnbar sind oder natürlich auch die Menschen dort auch nicht mehr wohnen können. In Indien war es ja extrem heiß jetzt schon in diesem Jahr und da waren wirklich viele Hitzetote. Also aber nicht nur in Indien, muss man dazu sagen, man denkt immer gleich an solche Länder, auch in Deutschland gibt es immer mehr Hitzetote, auch gerade jetzt bei Arbeitsstellen am Bau zum Beispiel, kann man sich vorstellen, die haben teilweise 39, 40 Grad Körpertemperatur, also wie Fieber, was man so vom Fieber kennt, so arbeiten die. Also es ist wirklich langsam schon extrem.
Ja, und das Thema wird uns auf jeden Fall in der Zukunft beschäftigen, begleiten, leider. Was macht ihr denn in Sachen Supply Chain? Also habt ihr da spezielle Anforderungen, auch da nachhaltig zu wirken und zu sein?
Ja, also unbedingt. Also wir haben jetzt schon Abfallfasern zum Teil im Produkt, die wir verwenden. Da sind wir auch nach wie vor dran. Wir können es recyceln, also wir können daraus nachher Stühle oder Kugelschreiber oder was auch immer. Da haben wir auch verschiedene Projekte. Also das funktioniert jetzt schon. Und auch wir produzieren eben in Deutschland die Technologie, weil das eben sehr, sehr schwierig ist, die herzustellen. Es gibt auch nur unser Unternehmen in ganz Deutschland, also wir sind die einzigen in Deutschland, die sowas machen, weil es eben nicht ganz so trivial ist. Und das ist eben Funktionstextilien, technische Textilien. Das ist natürlich auch was, wo Deutschland natürlich auch führend ist und wir da natürlich auch eine Rolle einnehmen können als Pilot, um da in der Klimatisierung voranzugehen.
Definitiv, ihr habt eine Vorreiterrolle mit dem Produkt und habt natürlich auch große Ziele. Du hast gerade schon angesprochen, zum Beispiel die Mobilität. Was ist denn das nächste konkrete große Ding bei euch?
Bau. Also das ist wirklich ein ganz, ganz großes Thema. Also immer mehr Firmen kommen auf uns zu, weil natürlich die Städte immer heißer werden. Es wird ja enger gebaut, um wieder natürlich Platz zu sparen, was ja dahergehend wieder gut ist. Aber dadurch wird es nicht in den Städten immer heißer, wenn es immer enger ist und die ganze Luftzirkulation nicht mehr funktioniert. Und auch die ganzen Bestandsgebäude haben natürlich keine Klimatisierung. Wenn ich da jetzt überall Klimaanlagen einbaue, müssen wir über das 2-Grad-Ziel überhaupt nicht mehr reden. Das heißt, die haben richtig Druck. Und da sind wir gerade dran, das wirklich als Baumaterial einzusetzen, damit wir praktisch das, was wir hier mit den Vorhängen sozusagen im Raum machen können, dass wir das praktisch auch außerhalb vom Raum wie eine statt Dämmung sozusagen Kühlung von außen, da kann man sowohl sich in der Dachkonstruktion als eben auch in der Wandkonstruktion was einfallen lassen, ob das Beschattung mit Vorhängen außen ist und Pads und Panels. Also da gibt es gerade im Moment ganz viele Sachen, da sind wir mit der Uni in Stuttgart schon dran, mit Dres und Sommer, die ja auch im Projektbereich da ganz groß sind. Und also ich denke mal, die Smart Cities sind im Moment schon an uns dran und wir gucken, dass wir da gemeinsam richtig viel und richtig schnell vorankommen.
Performance mit jeder Menge Idee und jede Menge guten Ideen. Vielen Dank, Gabriele, dass ihr hier seid und Teil des GreenTech Festivals. Genau deswegen sind wir hier, um genau solche Ideen hochleben zu lassen.
Dankeschön.
Now we are talking about a topic which is really present in the sustainable strategy of many, many companies in Germany, which is planting trees. And with me is Jaron Pasi, and you are working with Treedom. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm glad being here.
Jaron, what are you showcasing here at the booth at the GreenTech Festival?
Well, we're here to showcase, first of all, how we tackle tree planting in order to have the maximum impact for people and the planet, but also how we combine it with a, I believe, very unique digital approach. To summarize it, we're planting the right tree in the right place for the right purpose, combining kind of 5 pillars. An ecological impact with a very clear social impact, equally important. So trees are not only about carbon, trees are not only about enriching biodiversity, but much more. Supporting smallholder farmers, strengthening infrastructures in the global south, and strengthening food security. Third pillar is really the long-term horizon. We're shifting from tree planting to tree growing. Trees need to be in nature for a long time to have a clear, tangible impact. And then the last 2 pillars are very Treedom unique. It's first of all a digital user experience. Each tree is being geolocated, photographed, receives its own website with a kind newsfeed kind of style. Our trees are found in a public registry. And the last pillar would be really trying to create this emotional bond through educating but entertaining updates from the projects. And we really want people to get engaged with it, so people can plant a tree and gift it to others, to loved ones, family, friends, for anniversaries, Christmas or whatever.
There are many companies actually focusing on planting trees or offering planting trees. What's your USP?
Right. Well, first of all, companies but also private people can plant trees. That's very important. It's just there for everyone. We focus, I would say, on 3 USPs and elements. The first would be the digital accountability and digital transparency. As I said, we have a public registry where you can find each tree that ever has been planted with a photograph of the seedling after replanting to nature, with geodata, and you'll find many more updates on the website. Second of all, it would be the user experience. You can gift trees, you can engage others, you can involve them and have fun with it. And last but not least is the holistic approach of tree planting. As I said, it's all about the impact we want people to understand it, the ecological and the social impact combined.
How important is data for you then?
Well, super important. We see ourselves as a digital company. We are digitizing each and every tree, the projects. We have a public registry where people can really surf. You will find every single digital tree planter, as well as the projects, each single tree, and also the people who are involved in the project.
There were not only good news about planting trees. What do you do against that and for a better future?
Well, first of all, whenever such a trend is growing, rightly so, people ask questions. And I think it's very important, especially all of us who are in it for the sustainability. In the sustainability field, we shouldn't overpromise. So what do? We're trying to be as accountable as possible. Again, each single tree can be found out there. With geodata, people and companies can track it. And we're really trying to grant this accountability to this complex field.
So transparency is key, right?
Absolutely.
How can companies get involved into you and your business model?
Well, first of all, we invite individuals and companies to plant and grow trees with us. Just replacing once a year maybe an unsustainable gift with a sustainable one. You can gift a tree and the recipients of the gift will receive updates in your name. In the terms from companies, they will receive even the logos within these updates. They will understand what kind of impact has been created by the trees. So companies can grow trees with us, plant their own digital company forest. It's not a real forest because we plant an agroforestry system, but we combine it as a digital forest and a digital hub. You can track the exact KPIs of this project and then gift each and every single tree to stakeholders.
There are a lot of communication elements in that. How important is it for the companies to communicate with you?
That really depends. I mean, most of our partners plant trees just to gift them. So replacing Christmas gifts, instead of gifting again a branded power bank, they simply gift a tree. So within our approach, or the Treedom approach allows companies already to communicate about those projects without doing anything, just through the tweets of the tree, right? But yes, without any doubt, we want to grant a huge transparency and access to these projects. So the communication is a big part. And yes, companies ask for it.
And offsetting, I would say, is kind of second choice. What do you do against the emission itself?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, it's super important. We need to measure, we need to avoid, we need to reduce, and only then offsetting can have its maximum impact. So this is the exact mindset that we want to support. This is also why we don't really see ourselves as an offsetting provider. It's about the holistic benefits that a tree brings. It's about enriching biodiversity and everything. But what we believe is this, that if you engage stakeholders, if you engage your friends, your employees, whatsoever, they will think about these topics. You can introduce with them concepts like impact, like the SDGs, through a very simple action like the tree.
And engagement is the right topic at the moment as well. We are here at the GreenTech Festival 2022, and you have a really special partnership with the GreenTech Festival. Let us know what it's all about.
Yeah, we're super happy about the partnership with the GreenTech Festival. The GreenTech Festival decided to plant one tree for each conference participant, as well participant of the GreenTech Awards. The people, each participant will receive his or her own tree and be able to adopt it. And further, they have announced an amazing story for each tree that is being planted by you guys using the code Celebrate Trees. The GreenTech Festival will plant a tree on top, and you will receive it as a gift.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and please feel free to plant a tree with Treedom. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
nicht mehr viele Länder in Europa, die wirklich eine Textilindustrie haben. Deswegen ist Portugal einfach eine super Gegend dafür. Da gibt es einfach nur eine richtige Tradition, was Textilindustrie betrifft. Ja, und eben durch einen Bekannten von Klaus, der ausgewandert ist, sind wir dahergekommen und haben die Raquel kennengelernt. Und durch die Raquel hat sich das ganze Netzwerk irgendwie aufgebaut, vergrößert. Und deswegen sind wir da und es ist super, dass wir da sind.
Also mich fasziniert einfach die Mentalität von den Leuten. Ich glaube, das war das Allerprägendste für mich. Ich war, glaube ich, noch nie abgehoben oder sowas, aber das hat mich schon nur mal gescheit geerdet, würde ich mal sagen. Die Einstellung von den Leuten, die sind so glücklich und so freundlich, so offen. Und ja, das ist einfach beeindruckend zum Sehen. Jetzt, wenn ich herkomme, alle sagen, hey, hast du morgen schon was vor, gehen wir essen oder komm zu mir heim, ich mache irgendwas Cooles. Und das ist die Herzlichkeit einfach, die ist einfach so beeindruckend.
I think 6 years ago I met Klaus. For me it's a good person because all the time ask if it's necessary to make a little bit more for the companies or the employers because the Klaus like people work happy and yes, this is nice because I want the same.
I identify a lot with them. For me, Klaus, it's like a friend. It's my Austrian friend. Okay, we speak on the weekend and the week about job majority, but in the weekend we are also, all the time in contact, send photos, make video calls, everything.
Wenn du mit einem Partner so auf Augenhöhe zusammenarbeiten kannst, wir über alles offen diskutieren, es gibt keine versteckten Preise oder irgendwas, sondern es ist alles transparent für jeden. Das ist einfach, finde ich, so, wie die Wirtschaft funktionieren sollte.
I think Klaus and your team is fair for everyone. They pay what they have to pay. They don't make pressure with prices. They make pressure with quality. It's important for us. They make pressure sometimes with delivery dates is important for us. We work together. They have trust in me. I trust on them, and we work as a team.
Beim GreenTech Festival geht es natürlich auch darum, neben den Dingen, die man anschauen kann und den Menschen, mit denen man sich austauschen kann, wirklich Sachen zu erleben. Und hier ist auch die Möglichkeit, Forschung richtig zu erleben. Besonders die TU München macht das erlebbar. Da sind natürlich hochkomplexe Prozesse, die ich jetzt auch gar nicht alle vollumfänglich beschreiben will, die ich auch gar nicht verstehe, die sie aber deutlich machen und zeigen. Und es gibt jede Menge Experimente hier in der Ausstellung und wir freuen uns riesig. Unter anderem haben sie ein Baguette aus Algen mitgebracht. Ich werde es auch gleich probieren, freue mich riesig drauf. Bleibt dabei und schaut uns zu. Die TU München ist eine der führenden Universitäten in Sachen Nachhaltigkeit in Deutschland. Und dabei geht es nicht nur um die Ideenfindung und die Forschung, sondern es geht auch ganz bewusst ums Thema Ausgründung und die Produkte dann auch in den Markt zu bringen. Und genau deshalb freuen wir uns sehr, auch die TU München hier auf dem GreenTech Festival 2022 begrüßen zu dürfen. Und bei mir ist Professor Dr. Thomas Brück. Herzlich willkommen.
Dankeschön. Clemens, ich freue mich, wieder hier zu sein und mit dir über Nachhaltigkeit sprechen zu dürfen.
Ja, wir freuen uns riesig. Was verstehst du oder ihr unter zirkulärer Ökonomie?
Zirkuläre Ökonomie bedeutet die sequentielle Nutzung von Rohstoffen. Das heißt, von der Gewinnung von einem Rohstoff zur Veredelung in ein Produkt habe ich eine Konversion und am Ende des Lebenszyklus nehme ich dieses Produkt wieder auseinander, führe es in Bestandteile zurück und konvertiere es mitunter in andere Produkte oder führe es zurück in meinen Ausgangsprozess. Ja? Das ist zirkuläre Ökonomie.
Wie wichtig ist die zirkuläre Ökonomie bei jedem eurer Gedanken und in eurer Forschung?
Ist der essentielle Grundgedanke, weil wir Kohlenstoffeffizienz maximieren müssen in unseren Prozessen. Das bedeutet von der Herstellung des Rohstoffs bis hin zum Produkt und darüber hinaus. Und wir betrachten alles nicht nur von einer ökologisch und ökonomischen Seite, sondern im Gesamten über die Lebenszyklusanalyse. Und das sind unsere Parameter, an denen wir uns ausrichten.
Und die Besucher und BesucherInnen dürfen sich darüber freuen. Hier am Stand bei euch an der TU München gibt es jede Menge Experimente auch. Unter anderem geht es um die Verwertung von Reststoffströmen mittels Mikroorganismen. Wie kann sowas aussehen?
Ja, Reststoffe gibt es ja viele. Wir nutzen besonders biologische Reststoffe aus der Landwirtschaft oder der Forstwirtschaft oder sogar Fischerei. Ja, Makroalgen sind ein großes Thema. Ja, die schwemmen an Stränden und verschmutzen die. Und wir können diese Makroalgen umwandeln in Wertstoffe. Ja, dazu gehören grüne Carbonfasern, aber mitunter auch neue Düngemittel. Ja. Hier am Stand sehen wir Mikroalgen, das sind mikroskopisch kleine Algen, die wachsen 10-mal schneller als jede Landpflanze und können 4-mal besser CO2 verwerten, als das die Landpflanzen können. Ja? Und wir machen daraus hier am Stand Nahrungsmittel. Wir haben hier mal was mitgebracht, ein französisches Baguette, das angereichert ist mit Algen. Und da deckt schon eine Scheibe dieses Baguettes den Tagesbedarf an einem essentiellen Vitamin, dem Vitamin B9, das wichtig ist für deine Herz-Kreislauf-Gesundheit.
Und ich habe es probiert. Das Algenbaguette schmeckt sensationell. Also für euch alle da draußen hier gerne mal vorbeischauen bei der TU München und probieren. Wir haben jetzt über das Thema Algen gesprochen, aber auch Bakterien spielen eine große Rolle. Bakterien ist ja häufig, ich würde sagen, negativ konnotiert, der Begriff. Wie siehst du das?
Also, es gibt nur 1% der Bakterien, die wirklich pathogen sind. Die meisten Bakterien sind komplett harmlos und wir brauchen sie sogar. Wir lesen das vielleicht auch in der Presse ab und zu mal. Das Darmmikrobiom, ja, das ist die gesammelte Zusammensetzung von Bakterien in deinem Darm. Die sind absolut wichtig, sonst kannst du keine Verdauung haben. Ja? Und das kann man auch noch fördern, indem man Bakterien eben in Joghurt einbringt. Das kennen wir, LC9 oder so von Danone. Was wir machen ist, wir machen mit Bakterien Farbstoffe. Astaxanthin oder Beta-Carotin, das sind spezielle Farbstoffe, die wirken als Antioxidant, als Zellschutz. Und das ist essentiell für deine Gesundheit, auch zum Beispiel als Vorläufer für Sehprozesse, Vitamin A. Ja? Und das zeigen wir gleich auch. Wir haben da eine Kultur vorgefertigt, die wir dann extrahieren und der Wertstoff ist dann rot. Das kann man dann schön sehen und verdeutlichen, wie man dann sowas machen kann.
Thomas, wir haben jetzt über Algen gesprochen, wir haben über Bakterien gesprochen. Bei beiden gibt es jede Menge Potenzial. Lass uns noch mal über Gentechnik sprechen. Auch das ist negativ konnotiert zum Teil. Was hältst du davon und wie viel Potenzial steckt in der Gentechnik?
Also, Gentechnik ist schwer zu kommunizieren, weil es negativ behaftet ist in der Gesellschaft. Es ist aber ein Werkzeug und das mittlerweile immer besser wird und was auch nicht gefährlich ist. Wir haben das komplett im Griff. Wir brauchen die Gentechnik, um unsere Mikroorganismen so maßzuschneidern, dass wir auch Zugang zu neuen Produkten haben, die mitunter in der Natur nicht vorkommen. Ja? Das nennt sich dann artifizielle oder synthetische Biologie als Schlagwort und da ist die Gentechnik essentiell. Und mit neuen gentechnischen Methoden wie der Genschere CRISPR-Cas haben wir auch Methoden, wo man diese Veränderungen mitunter gar nicht mehr nachweisen kann. Und wenn Mikroorganismen in geschlossenen Systemen kultiviert werden, wie Bioreaktoren und diesen Photobioreaktor hinter uns, dann kommen die auch nicht in die Umwelt raus. Und man kann nachher in dem Produkt die gentechnische Veränderung auch gar nicht mehr nachweisen. Da ist keine DNA drin. Das heißt, in geschlossenen Systemen ist Gentechnik 100% sicher und es ist das Werkzeug für eine nachhaltige Zukunft.
Hättest du den Wunsch, dass es noch transparenter kommuniziert wird, also dieses riesige Potenzial?
Ja, absolut. Also ich glaube, da ist ein Riesenpotenzial in der Wissenschaftskommunikation in die Gesellschaft rein, denn ohne Gentechnik werden wir diesen Sprung in eine nachhaltige Gesellschaft nicht schaffen.
Und wie geht da der Sprung zum Reststoffstrom auch wieder? Können die auch genutzt werden?
Ja, sicherlich. Also als Beispiel, Holz enthält neben Zellulose, was wir alles kennen, auch Hemicellulose. Der Grundstoff der Hemicellulose ist die Xylose. Kennen wir oft vom Birkenzucker. Ja? Der Birkenzucker kann schlecht von vielen Mikroorganismen verwertet werden. Jetzt können wir Gentechnik anwenden, um auch diesen Zucker verwertbar zu machen und damit eine größere Kohlenstoffeffizienz in der Konversion von Reststoffen hin zu einem Produkt zu generieren. Ökonomisch sinnvoll und ökologisch sinnvoll. Keine Reststoffströme mehr.
Und wie lange dauert so ein Prozess?
Der kann mitunter sehr lange dauern. Also wir haben hier einen Organismus dabei, da haben wir 7 Jahre gebraucht, um den zu manipulieren. Andere Organismen wie das Darmbakterium E. coli, was so der Standard ist in der Biotechnologie, das geht innerhalb von einer Woche.
Das ist der große Vorteil an Forschung, die Zeit kann man sich dann eben auch nehmen.
Genau, und wir müssen diese Zeit haben, um auch neue Produktionsorganismen zu erschließen und damit auch unser Portfolio an Produkten, die wir generieren können.
Und was kann ich oder jeder Einzelne und jede Einzelne jetzt machen und worauf sollen wir achten?
Also ich denke schon, dass man darüber nachdenken sollte, wie man einkauft, wie man auch gerade bei Nahrungsmitteln wirtschaftet. Wir haben da ein Riesenpotenzial, effizienter mit unserer Nahrung umzugehen. Nahrung ist ein sehr hohes Gut, was zu wenig geschätzt wird. Und da sollten wir anfangen.
Das ist ein Anfang. Vielen Dank für den Besuch und den Stand hier. Schön, dass ihr mit dabei seid auf dem GreenTech Festival 2022. Wie gesagt, es gibt leckeres Baguette und jede Menge sehr, sehr gute Infos rund um das Thema Ernährung, Nachhaltigkeit. Das alles von der TU München.
We are very proud that we have pioneered the thermal packaging with vacuum insulation panels.
We do our best to make the best product.
We are authentic, never boring and very exciting. New thermal challenges pop up every day. In many cases, we are the right partner to solve them.
GTF is a global company and has become a global brand. GTF has 2 business units. One is thermal energy efficiency. In thermal energy efficiency, we are selling high-tech insulation material. On the other side, temperature-controlled supply chain is about boxes and containers, which we are selling and renting.
Which has become one of our key drivers for our business.
At GTF, our attitude is visionary. We always think ahead.
With its great reputation, which we have as a made in Germany product, we have a good opportunity to play also a major role in the future of this planet.
Sustainability is in the DNA of GTF. already for 20 years. We do see a future where this technology becomes more and more common in more and more industries. GTF has pioneered the super insulation 20 years back and always is in the driver's seat of that technology.
Vacuum is nothing. The state of nature, nothing.
For a good team spirit, you need a common goal. The goal and the vision of the company is to create a very good service around thermal packaging and thermal insulation. We want to be the global #1.
And therefore, we are already thinking about the next technology step, the next thing which we want to invent.
We have best products around the world and the best services as well.
GTF is known for reliable products and services and also for a very supportive team.
All the team is inspired by this vision to make it happen every day.
Hey, I'm Afshi, one of the co-founders of Wolfgang. And at Wolfgang, we do second life.
Wolfgang? What the hell is that? Are you a boy group?
No, Wolfgang, like catching the Volt. You know what? Let me just show you what we do. So this is our workshop where we do the technical development. And this is the Wolfgang Industrial, our energy storage system.
Ah, I see. But for what do I need a Wolfgang?
The main purpose is to store the excess energy of your solar roof, either as a private household or a company.
Okay, energy storages, but there are already many of them, like the one from Tesla, right? What makes you think you're different?
So unlike them, we only use second life batteries and don't produce any new ones. It's more sustainable.
Sustainability? Why is that important?
Sustainability? Anna, I think that's your topic. Can you help them out?
Of course, in order to give our generation a better future, we will need a functioning circular economy. That is why we use old batteries instead of new ones and give them a second life. By doing this, we will save CO2 emissions, non-renewable resources and energy.
Alright, I heard that the other day. Apparently there are no cheap recycling options for batteries.
Exactly, and that's not all. For the transition from fossil fuel to renewable energies, we will need an energy storage system.
Sounds good. But what is your real impact on the environment?
Without energy storage systems, our future will look like this.
And yet tens of thousands of
things keep growing and growing.
Fair enough. But are used batteries even safe?
So before we actually insert a battery module into our system, we check them for the remaining state of health with our own developed testing process. And after that, we can just take the good ones and integrate them in our developed battery management system in a fast and cost-efficient way.
Don't you need an enormous number of batteries for that?
Just a moment, my phone is ringing. Hey Roman, what's up? I'm kind of busy right now.
Oh, sorry. I just want to tell you that the modules are now in a container.
Are you in a container? It's perfect. I just hand it over to you.
All right, bye. So you asked where modules come from, and actually they come from small individuals, big-scale companies, and also our recycling centers. Until now, we already saved 600 modules. They come from around, let's say, 100 cars. And until 2030, we're gonna get 4 gigawatt hours worth of modules more. They come from delivery car fleets, for example.
This is the World Fan, our team of purpose-driven talents who want to change something.
Thank you very much for joining us at the GreenTech Festival livestream. It's a pleasure to be your host. And if you want to share your thoughts with us, please use the hashtag #TogetherWeChange. Now we are going to talk about a company who has changed a lot within the last couple of years, which is called Nespresso. They're long-term partner of the GreenTech Festival. They had the Recycle Bar last year, and they have it this year as well, where you can taste delicious coffee, of course. And they are telling a really special story about their way in a sustainable future. They are asking uncomfortable questions. For example, how does the supply chain look like? How does recycling look like? How is sustainable packaging? And this is something we are going to discuss in a little bit, and we are going to see a really, really special product. I think you are not expecting that, and I wasn't as well. Welcome back at the GreenTech Festival live stream, and we have been talking a lot about food and how food can be more sustainable in the future. And when we talk about food, of course, we have to talk about coffee. And a long-term partner of the GreenTech Festival is with us today, Mark, the CEO of Nespresso Germany. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thanks, Clemens.
It was a pleasure last year, and I hope it will be a pleasure this year as well.
It's very nice to be here again.
Yeah.
Again, really hot, but a great atmosphere and lots of inspiration.
Great to have you. What are you, as Nespresso, showcasing at the GreenTech Festival?
Yeah, so you may have seen it already. Of course, we are very nicely in the middle, and not only because people really love to come to us for great coffee, we're actually showcasing quite a lot. And this time, where last year it was more about recycling, this year it's more about the different ways of cultivating our coffees. And it really starts with like a miniature model of plantations in coffee regions in the world, where you can truly explore, what does it take to cultivate high quality coffee, and where does it touches upon sustainability related topics as well. And from there on, you can deep dive into biodiversity, or go into traceability. We have a great new project now where with the blockchain technology, you can really trace back to the farmer, that is being paid correctly, that is fully traced through the value chain. It's all about
supply chain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from there, looking at our partnerships with Rainforest Alliance or Fairtrade, what did we do exactly with them? And then all the way down to after use, you come into the recycling area. Where this time, actually, I brought this shoe. So I don't know if you've seen it. You can try it on later, maybe.
That's quite confusing for me. Nespresso, I thought you were bringing coffee.
Yeah, so but last year we were showing what you can do with the recycled aluminium of the
remember,
capsule. We now brought one example what you also can do with coffee, actually, with the remains of coffee. And this is a project that we do together with a startup company.
This is made out of coffee.
This is actually a vegan shoe, and parts of it are made from coffee remains. So I think also a fantastic example where we continuously try to push to close the loop, even after usage. Try to close what you can do with the remaining products.
Who came up with this idea? I mean, that's not the first thing to think about.
I think it's our international CEO who was at some exhibition or online, bumped into this lady. The company is called Zida. I think he bumped into her and they spoke, and he said, wow, could you do a vegan shoe with coffee remains as well? And she said, well, we're going to try. So this turned into a reality in the end. And we're now displaying this all around the world to see, to inspire also. We're not in the shoe business, but to really inspire how you can close different loops in your value chain.
And you've been here last year and you made several steps since then in terms of sustainability. How happy are you with the development of your company?
I think we're very proud with what we're doing. So we've been continuously pushing. And I think this morning our global head of sustainability was on stage as well, where he spoke about, where in a business strategy, it's about making choices what you don't do. When it comes to sustainability, you don't have that choice. You need to work on every angle. So whether it comes to social circumstances around plantations, where we develop products like pension funds together with Fairtrade, or further down into the value chain, how do you transport in a greener way? How do you roast and package, and then in the end recycle. And in all those areas, we've been making a lot of progress. So we're actually now at a point where in the course of this year, we will have all our products made for 80% out of recycled aluminium. And that's a huge step where we're the front runner again in our industry. Yeah.
So a lot of happening at Nespresso, obviously. What would you say, how close is the relationship between coffee quality and sustainability? Is there one?
I think it's a very strong marriage. I think there cannot be high quality coffee without a strong link to sustainability. And I think this is clearly demonstrated with the work that we've been doing for over 20 years now, together with Rainforest Alliance on a plantation level, to secure ways of cultivating with their help when it comes to biodiversity, for instance, or also social circumstances on the plantations. You can only achieve the highest possible quality if you do that in the most environmentally friendly and most sustainable way. So, for instance, to try to reduce to zero the use of pesticides, as an example. Yeah.
And you were talking about the temperature. At the beginning, it's really hot, and there are regions in the world where it's getting hotter and hotter. That's a scary development, obviously. But for you, how do you support as Nespresso local farmers in that case?
Yeah, there's two clear threats for farmers, and one is the economical volatility. So with inflation, crop prices. So do they get enough money? And the other one is the climate shift. And in both areas, we actually develop programs to support them. So when it comes to economic volatility, we, for instance, offer crop insurance, or like I just said, a pension fund. So we erected a pension fund with Fairtrade and the Colombian government, because we were actually seeing that for the younger generation, it was not so attractive anymore to step into the coffee sector, because the ones running it never retired. They never have the opportunity to retire. They did not have the possibility to save money in a pension fund. So we helped that. And this is now a showcase example for the Colombian government. When it comes to climate, lots of initiatives there as well. We see, of course, longer periods of heavy rainfall or longer periods of drought. So water management on plantations is a big challenge. And for instance, through biodiversity, by planting different types of trees, like a banana tree, then you get more shade on the coffee plants themselves. So you need less irrigation. Or soil treatment, if you can help to prevent through biodiverse ways of cultivating that there's not so much erosion from the plantation, then you also need less water to prevent that. So there's different ways on treating, on helping farmers. We do that with 400 agronomists. And a lot of cooperations with local NGOs like Rainforest, and in some other parts of the world we work with others. In Africa, it's TechnoServe company to really get the feet on the ground and to help those farmers to have a long-term future and a successful agricultural farm company.
Sure. And when we want to taste the coffee, one of your coffees in Germany, of course, there's always the topic of shipping. How do you tackle that?
Yeah. Well, if you look at the entire, let's say, supply chain, of course, coffee is not grown in Germany.
No.
So it grows in countries around the equator, and we actually, are being supplied from over 100,000 farmers around this equator in more than 14, 15 countries. And so you need to bring it somewhere to make your product. So we have shipments to Europe, and then by rail it goes to Switzerland, to one of our roasteries, where it's roasted and then sent to a market like Germany, where we also develop a lot of initiatives to do that in the greenest possible way with current possibilities of our partners.
Sure.
I mean, we don't own ships, or we don't own trains, or we don't own trucks. There's a pilot going on with hydrogen-powered trucks. And in Germany, we're actually discussing currently with DHL, which is one of our partners, to see if we can supply to our end customers with their new concept of DHL Go Green Plus, where it's really about CO2 neutral delivery of the coffee to our customers. So from plantation to in your hands at your doorstep, we're trying to get the transportation as well as close as possible to CO2 neutral.
And what are you looking for at the GreenTech Festival again this year?
Well, it's again amazing. I mean, I think there's more exhibitors even than last year from many different areas. One of the things on our agenda is, of course, carbon footprint. I saw a lot of great stuff happening in that space. So people really looking at new technologies, how you can capture carbon and even make products out of it.
Water.
Water, but also material. Super exciting. And together with our global head of sustainability, we really made a tour and had lots of great conversations. So for us, it's really a place to network, get inspired, and maybe bring back some of those ideas to our head office. Say, hey guys, maybe the R&D department can look into this.
Like the shoe.
This is how things like this also happen indeed, Clemens. Yeah.
Mark, it was a pleasure talking to you again. All the best for the future. I hope you will have many more of these shoes and products.
Likewise, come by for a coffee and maybe try out one of your sizes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Clemens.
The GreenTech Festival is all about creating networks, and of course we want to create a network between startups and big corporates, and that's why we also invite the biggest corporates in the world to the GreenTech Festival 2022, and one of them is Google, and they're with us for the 4th year in a row, and we are really honored to have them on our side. And Google was, by the end of 2007, the first major company to be carbon neutral in their operations. And I'm super excited to talk about their successful story in terms of sustainability in a bit. The GreenTech Festival is bringing all the big corporates and all startups together here in Berlin to create change because, of course, together we change. Please use the hashtag again to let us know what you think about the GreenTech Festival and the live stream. And one of the biggest corporates worldwide, we have a guest right now. It's Google. Thanks a lot for joining us. Adam Ellman, Head of Sustainability EMEA of Google, and also a speaker here at the main stage. Thanks a lot for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great event so far. Lots of enthusiasm, lots of energy in the room, so it's been great.
What are you, as Google, showcasing at the GreenTech Festival?
So Google's really had sustainability as a core value right since its founding. We're currently in our 3rd decade of climate action, so we're really showing the journey that we've been on. For example, we've been carbon neutral since 2007 in our operations. Since 2017, we've been sourcing 100% renewable electricity, and we're now focused on our goals of net zero emissions by 2030 and operating on 24/7 carbon-free energy. But we're also showcasing the work we're doing with NGOs, large corporate enterprises, cities and governments, and our work to enable everyone through things like Google Search and Google Maps.
What would you say, looking at the development Google did the last years, where are you, and percentage-wise, in case of sustainability?
A great question and not an easy one to answer. I think sustainability is a journey, not a destination. We take it very seriously. We're working very hard right across the business. And that's why we set these really very high, ambitious goals. We're always striving to do more. We never feel like we've done enough. We're proud of what we've achieved, but we always need to do more. This is the decisive decade. As a planet, we need to cut emissions by 50% by 2030. We're very focused at getting ahead of that within our business, but also, as I say, really helping others to decarbonise as well and using technology as an enabler.
I feel like the whole GreenTech Festival is talking about mobility as well. You got the feeling as well?
A lot of mobility discussion and lots of great vehicles outside.
How do you as Google enable your users to move more environmental friendly?
Yeah, so we've equally got a big focus on this, and we do that in a number of different ways today. So, for example, if you do need to fly and go on to search for flights on Google, we'll show you the carbon emissions associated with each flight, so you can at least choose the flight with the lowest emissions. If you go onto Google Maps, we already show you how you can use, how you could walk or how you can take the train. But we also show you how you can access bike hire or scooter hire, and we give information about things like low emission zones. One of the things that I'm personally really excited about is coming later this year to Germany and to Europe is what we call eco-friendly routing. So today you might use Google Maps to say, hey, I need to drive from point A to point B, and that's great. But later this year, we'll tell you how you can do that in the most eco-efficient way, the most eco-friendly way. Great for the planet, also saving on fuel, so great for the wallet as well.
You mentioned you're entering Germany and Europe.
Yep.
How hard is it political-wise to enter such a market right now?
So I think there's a lot of support within Europe for the climate agenda. As Google, we very much support the EU's ambition for net zero emissions, 2050. And we want to work closely with policymakers, both in Europe and in member states, because it's such an important agenda and it's so important that we all work together. Moving at scale, moving at pace, moving in partnership is really key here.
And we were talking a lot about emissions and digitalization. How do you enable your users to see what kind of carbon emissions they have with their digital footprint?
So, as I say, the great thing about Google services, they all run off of Google infrastructure. As I mentioned, we are carbon neutral in terms of our operations. We're running on 100%, we match our electricity use with 100% renewable electricity. But equally so, we are working on helping users and customers understand more about carbon emissions associated with using services. So our Google Cloud customers, for example, have a dashboard where we provide them information. It's an area we keep focusing on, but we're really focused on decarbonisation in the first place. That's really what we're trying to do.
And how important do you think is the educational part in that to get all the people involved using your Google?
Well, I think we have an important opportunity and a responsibility to help people that are interested in this agenda. We have been working with the UN, for example, so that if you're searching on Google for information about climate change, we'll surface the most authoritative and trusted information around climate change. Through YouTube, we have lots of amazing creators that are creating fantastic content around climate change, around food waste, around health. And again, it's another fantastic platform to help get the message out there, to help educate people, but to give them advice, give them hints and tips, and help everyone on this journey.
What is the next milestone on your path to carbon-free operations in 2030?
So many milestones, but one of the big ones we are focused on right now is our 24/7 carbon-free energy goal. So as I mentioned before, we already use 100% renewable electricity. But like most companies, what that means is at the end of the year, we make sure we've bought enough renewable electricity to match our usage. That doesn't mean that every hour of the day, in every location, we're using renewable electricity at that time. We want to change that, and that's what we intend to do. So we're already 2/3 of the way there, and we're working very hard to close the gap. But it will mean sourcing locally and sourcing within the hour that we need that energy.
And you're positive about reaching the goal?
We are, it's an ambitious, well, it's a moonshot goal. It's not been done before. So we don't have all the answers. We're working on different technologies, such as battery storage, different types of renewables, such as geothermal, which is always on, and technologies where we might move jobs around. So if a data center is running on less renewable energy in one data center, why don't we shift that workload to a different data center somewhere else? So we've got lots of the answers already. We don't have the full solutions, but we're working with partnership with many people, and we're really focused on achieving that goal.
And you were talking about the importance going step by step. What's the next big step for you?
It's a really difficult question to answer because we operate, we're focused on energy, we're focused on carbon emissions, we're focused on reducing water, reducing food waste. And for each of those, we have these, we have big ambitious plans, and we're working very hard on it day to day. So it's really hard to sort of say, focus on one big thing. We're focused on all of it. And importantly, it's about having an impact and working at scale and working quickly.
Working quickly. Sustainability is a journey, not a destination. Thank you very much, Adam, for joining us. That's a huge quote, but we have to reach or do the journey as fast as possible to get all this stuff done.
Absolutely. Maybe if just to finish on one thing, one of the things I was able to announce on stage this morning, which is a new initiative, what I'm quite excited around, is supporting, it's called our Google.org Impact Challenge for Climate. It's a $30 million fund, and we're looking for the most ambitious, global-scale, tech-driven solutions on climate information and climate action, really focused on using open data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and selected organizations will each receive $5 million. They'll receive access to Google technical expertise, access to Google products. It's something we're really excited about. We really want to accelerate these solutions that help everyone decarbonize.
And they are out there, right?
They are out there, and we want to help them both financially and with support to really scale up. All the information is available on the Google website. Take a look. Please do apply. Please do share amongst all your contacts.
Check them out. If you are looking for funding and have a great idea, please, try to contact Adam. And
you can contact me or have a look at the Google website.
Or the Google website, yes. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and all the best for the future and the GreenTech Festival 2022.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
SIGO, das E-Lastenrad-Sharing. Gemeinsam auf dem Weg in eine gesunde Zukunft.
Ich bin Tobias Lochen, der Gründer und einer der Geschäftsführer von SIGO. Menschen wollen und müssen immer etwas transportieren in den Städten. Aber gleichzeitig werden unsere Städte immer voller. Wir haben mehr Parkplatzdruck, wir haben mehr Staus und dafür brauchen wir eine Alternative. Lastenräder sind eine fantastische Erfindung, aber sie sind teuer in der Anschaffung und oftmals fehlen mir die sicheren Abstellmöglichkeiten. Mit SIGO schaffen wir die perfekte Lösung, denn mit unserer SIGO-App kannst du 24 Stunden, 7 Tage die Woche dir ein E-Lastenrad ausleihen, solange du es brauchst und wann immer du es brauchst.
Die SIGO E-Lastenräder stehen direkt vor der Haustür, aufgeräumt in der Station. Dort werden sie per Induktion aufgeladen und gesichert. Unterwegs hat man die Möglichkeit, das Fahrrad jederzeit mit einem Rahmenschloss zu sichern. Geniale Idee.
Der Mehrwert für die Wohnungswirtschaft liegt klar auf der Hand. Im Neubau können dadurch Stellplätze reduziert werden, wodurch enorme Kosten eingespart werden können. Selbst im Bestand ist eine Umsetzung problemlos möglich, da wir nur einen gewöhnlichen Stromanschluss benötigen. Das heißt für die Wohnungswirtschaft kein Aufwand, da wir von SIGO als Full-Service-Dienstleister agieren. Das heißt, wir stellen die Stationen auf, kümmern uns um den operativen Betrieb, machen den Kundensupport und sogar die Abrechnung.
Die Nassauische Heimstätte ist in puncto Nachhaltigkeit eines der führenden Unternehmen in der Branche und deshalb investieren wir in unseren Quartieren nicht nur energetisch in den Klimaschutz, sondern auch im Bereich Mobilität. Daher kooperieren wir mit SIGO und investieren dadurch in nachhaltige Lösungen.
Nachhaltige Mobilität ist ein globaler Megatrend. Bei SIGO haben wir ein kompetentes Team, das es in kurzer Zeit geschafft hat, die Kombination aus Lastenrad, Station und Software-App auf die Straße zu bringen.
Lass uns gemeinsam mit dem SIGO E-Lastenrad-Sharing Bewegung in die Städte bringen, mit deiner Unterstützung.
Mit einem tragfähigen, nachhaltigen und wachstumsstarken Geschäftsmodell.
Für eine gesündere Zukunft.
Für uns alle.
Mit SIGO.
SIGO, das E-Lastenrad-Sharing.
So this was it. This was the GreenTech Festival 2022, and for me it was the GreenTech Festival Livestream, obviously. And I'm Clemens. I was and will be maybe your host for the next couple of years. And yeah, my personal opinion is that I'm super impressed, excited, and inspired by the people sitting next to me, talking to me about their idea to create a greener and more sustainable future for all of us. That's what the GreenTech Festival is about, talking about ideas, creating new networks and work in a more sustainable way all together because, and that's the feeling I get and we all get here at the GreenTech Festival, there are options for a greener future, and if we will all work together, we have a lot of potential which is unused till now. The GreenTech Festival itself was really successful as well. We had 196 exhibitors and over 150 speakers here on stage, which is really amazing. We had great musicians, we had amazing award show. Yeah, the whole show, the GreenTech Festival, was just mind-blowing for me and for the whole team. So we want to say thank you to you for joining us at the live streams. Yeah, we are super proud about the event, and we're going to start the travel now all around the world. We will be in New York, we will be in Singapore, we will be in London to celebrate change, to create a movement in a greener and brighter future. And if you want to join us, feel free, use the hashtag Together We Change. I hope you tune in next time. Stay safe and keep on going.